Hello, hello. What's good with you, Clarence?
What's good, bro?
Not much, not much, man. You activated
Yep,
your XFA today?
yep. I activated it today.
Okay, good stuff.
1:30, 2 o'clock. hmm While I was at work.
Did you end up trading on it at all, or you just activated it only?
Yeah, I traded on it. I'm plus 330 right now
Ooh,
on the day.
yes, sirski. What the
hmm
fuck I like to
I
hear,
caught a
man.
little sale. Caught a little sale. I had to get off because they kept calling me at work. I couldn't really manage it like I usually do. But hey, I'm 300 locked out for the day. Hey, that's a win.
Yeah, fucking win. Four more days of that shit. Hey, payout time, baby. So yeah, you can't complain with that. So yeah, great for not good shit, but great fucking shit. Great
Then the
paycheck.
market got sideways on me. So I was like, oh yeah, it's time to go.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
out.
Yeah, that's the thing about, the markets, man. You can't try to make all the money on. I mean, you
You
can,
can
but
make
shit.
all the money.
Yeah, but you'll end up, losing just with the overtrading. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm gonna let a couple more people get in here. I know, like I said, some of the other people probably a little late. But yeah, I'm really excited to, share the new prop. It's gonna be a game changer for everybody who's involved with trading. Uh, it's cheap. Number one, it's cheap, and the potential for the upside is so big. Uncapped payouts. So it's definitely going to be, like I said, something to talk about. So Top Step, you did your $300 a day. Shit, you could have pulled that $300 out, same day after you had beat the buffer. So that's essentially what we're going to be talking about. Like I said, going forward for people is to really get them locked in and have it where
Or is it kind of like what take profit trader? You can like pass in one day type of
yeah,
deal, or
exactly. So, well, you can't pass in one day. You can pay it pass in 5 days. So that's my only
okay,
gripe with these guys is the ability to pass in 5 days. But other than that, hell,
okay.
shit, the upside potential is so huge where, again, that I'm nitpicking for that negative. 5 days, I'm on a live account, taking daily withdrawals. So, once I beat my buffer, unlike TPT, they have it where your account, you essentially um, don't have trailing threshold. So trailing threshold is the singular most hardest rule to defeat as a prop firm trader.
Right.
Because when you're in profit, if you're up $500 and it comes back and hits your entry, well, guess what? At that point, you are essentially down $500, even though you haven't lost any money. Like if you closed out that trade and it hit your stop loss or your entry, I meant, where you trailed in profit, you have essentially lost $500. That's what Apex has. That's what Take Profit Trader has. Um, Trade Day, like a lot of these props have that built in. And so, Top Step, fortunately, they don't have that, but they limit you on the cap on your withdrawal. So you have $5,000 that you can withdraw on an account. Hell, I had weeks on 5 accounts where I made $10,000 on all of my Top Step accounts, but I only got a maximum $5,000 payout. It's trash compared to you doing that, having a great week in trading, and now you take out 50,000. It's way different than taking out 25. It's way different.
Mhm.
So that's what I really like about these guys. With the futures desk, they've been in business a long time. They use Project X. I try to push everybody trading Project X just because, like I said, it's beginner friendly and the tools that are at our disposal for like the risk management. You can't, beat that.
I check X. I'm gonna have to check that out.
No, Project X is that's what you trade on with Top Step X.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, yeah, that's Project X. Yeah. Top Step helped fund the developers who created that joint. So that's why theirs is called Top Step X. But yeah, everybody uses this stuff. It's just whatever X, like Tradify this Tradify X. So it's like just different stuff. So everybody just call it. But yeah, it's beginner friendly. Like I said, the tools, that you can lock yourselves out with. Again, if you're a person who wants to trade Tradeovate, you can also trade with Tradeovate and the other props. But like I said, again, just push people to trade TPT due to the fact that you can trade mobile. You can trade mobile. Is easy to add contracts on, take contracts off. Um, Yeah, yeah, pretty much the course that I have, for the Omega course is pretty much literally built on Project X. Like, I revamped it. So like if you get the course, pretty much you know all the ins and outs, of trading with Project X. And yeah, I'm gonna be partial anyway. But like I said, I just really love the operating software due to the fact how it's so similar to TradingView. So, like, I do all my charting on TradingView, and pretty much it's like, again, like I'm trading right on TradingView with, Project X. So that's what I like about it. But yeah, I'll let a few more people get in here. Um, but did anybody have any questions, I guess, before I start? Because like I said, once I start, I'm hitting the ground running hard, pretty hard.
No question, Carl.
Cool, cool, cool. And we love it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, the new prop from, oh my goodness, game changer, game changer, game changer. So with the boot camp that we're going to be doing, essentially, it's going to be 5 days of straight torture, grueling um, practices of you guys being able to get into trades, get out of trades quick. I'm going to have it where when we're on Zoom, you're going to be able to share your screen, and I'm going to say, hey, jump into sell at this level, jump into buy at this level, take contracts off at this level, add contracts at this level, flatten all, cancel all, switch to gold, from gold, switch to micro gold, from micro gold, switch to ES, switch to MES. It's going to be very fast-paced decision making that you have to basically be able to be comfortable doing these actions because when the market is actually moving, like that's where we don't want to mess up when we're moving quickly. So the more that you can basically get that reined in as far as just the mechanics, like the strategy. Again, once you get the course, and like I said, once we, have you guys pretty much trading with us, like the actual course itself has, like I said, the techniques. But yeah, when you're trading with us, like I said, hey, you're watching my screen, put on the same trades. Uh, you won't mess up. We're just aiming for $150 a day. You do that on 5 accounts, you're talking about $750 a day that you'll be making. At the end of the month, that's 700, about $7,500 for a payout. At that point, once you progress for the 6 months, 7,500, 7,500. The first month is going to be 7,500. The next month's going to be 11K because you'll have that $1,500 plus the $3,000 we're going to put on the account. From that point, now your account will be up 4,500, right? Everybody can pull out their calculator. We're going to do the math real quick. So with Top Step, if you go to Top Step route, Top Step allows you to take out half of your account balance. So the first month that we do it, we're going to basically do the boot camp and we're going to put the profit on you guys' accounts. So at that point, you're talking about um, 20 days of $150. That's $3,000. We pass your prop challenge. Now you're on the XFA. You're like Clarence. You activate your XFA. Now we can start putting profit on that thing. From us putting profit on it, we're going to put $150 a day on it. And by us putting that $150 a day, at the end of 20 days, you're going to have $3,000, the safe, easy way on your account. So if you have five accounts, that's basically $15,000 that you have made for the month. Now you go to request your payout because you have $3,000 on your account. You can withdraw that money, but it's only going to give you 50% of what's in there, up to a maximum of $5,000. So you would have to make $10,000 in a week or just accumulate it on your account for you to be able to take the max payout of $5,000. So from us basically putting $3,000, it's going to be $1,500 that we'll pay ourselves, once a month. And the first month, like I said, it'll be 1,500 times five accounts. That's $7,500. So going into the second month, we're going to do the same thing over. We're going to put $150 on every single account that we have for 20 trading days. Once we do that, it's basically um, $3,000 plus the 1,500, which basically is 4,500, right? And give me one second. One of these members just responded right now. So yes, $4,500 now on the account. So 4,500. Now we want to see how much we're going to get paid out. We divide that by two. The 4,500 divided by two, and this is 22.5 what we're taking. So 2,200, dollars per account. So 22.5. You multiply that by five accounts, that's $11,000 and $250. That's how much we're basically going to bank the second month, doing the same thing, right? So now the third month. So we start out with 2250 on each account. We put $3,000 back on each account. So for 20 trading days, now we divide that by two. That's $2,600 on each account, 2625. You multiply that by five accounts. Now you get paid $1,300. And I really should be writing this down. So yeah, $1,300, which you'll pretty much get paid. At this point, we do the same thing. Month four. 2625 plus 3,000. We're now at 5625. Divide that by two. $2,800 on every single account. We multiply that by five. It's $14,000 pretty much that you're going to make uh, month three or month four, I meant. Now we're going into month five. So this is our fifth payout. Now we have 28, 12 on each account, plus the 3,000. That's $5,800 that we have on our account. Divide that by two, that's 2,906. That's 2,906 times five. That's $14,500, at our fifth payout. That we have got the safe, easy way. This is 5 months of us trading consistently together, getting $150. So if you add all these numbers up, like I said, you'll be roughly around like 60K, at that point from Top Step alone, having only spent $1,000, all in all. And the good thing about this is you'll still have $2,900 on your account, which you can then take to the live markets. So now you will multiply this number by five. Um, yeah, you multiply this number by five. And from that point, 2,906, you would have a live account of $14,500. And now, because account is live on Top Step, you can take daily payouts. So if you make your $150, guess what? You pay yourself that $150 every single day. Or once you're live, you can have it where you talk to Top Step and you say, hey guys, I have a financial crisis on my hands. I need this $14,000. I want you guys to pay me out my 90% profit split. And once you do that, you can take a payout and it'll be $13,000 that they'll give you in your bank account. So at that point, you'll be around about the 70K mark in like 6 months or 5 months, or a little over 5 months, I mean. And after that, you can then start this process with other props. Top Step isn't the only one out there, but I feel like they're the best. They're beginner friendly. The ability to have five accounts, scale up. We have other prop firms like Tradeify that you can also pretty much do the, whole race with. The only thing is, whenever you take your max payout with Top Step, off the live account, they might blackball you where whenever you come back, you can only trade, one account. You'll be on the focus trader plan. So they might do that with you depending on your circumstances. So you do, run the risk of only having one account coming back. And it's very hard to get these numbers, making $7,500 with only one singular account. You can do it, but it's very hard, you know. So if you want to just keep your account on the live side, you can pay yourself pretty much out every single day. Again, it's like a ATM at that point. You know, I make my $150, I withdraw my $150. And by that time, hell, you should be going for a lot more than $150. Because again, you have graduated, your 6 month waiting period. And again, you have cash, you have $60,000 that you're sitting on in the bank. At that point, you can mess up and make mistakes. So that's top steps, whole business plan. You're looking at over 100 days, 100 business days to get to that point of the live account. Well, a little bit over that, it'd be 120 because you still have to pass the accounts. So 120 days in total, which would be 6 months. Now, here's the futures trading desk. So the futures trading desk basically is completely different in the fact of they're going to allow you to get four accounts. Um, they have an easy path to live. So let me share my screen real quick so I can show you guys. So this is the screen, entire screen. So if you click on my name, you guys should be able to see my screen. But this is the futures desk. Um, they're running a sale right now, 60% off. If you use the code HPS, it'll give you pretty much that deepest discount. So at this point, we're looking at a 25K equivalent account. So the max drawdown, this is the max amount that you can lose, is $1,000 on the account. Your profit target is 17.5. Your contract limit, you're able to trade one mini. Your daily loss, you can set this as none, or you can do $400. At this point. So the thing about this compared to Top Step, you can't customize your accounts with Top Step at all. You can't customize them. Size one, one fits all. You can either roll with a 50K account, which you see the 50K equivalent, 100K account, or 150K account. So again, these prices are super expensive, compared to Top Step, but it's a one-time fee. So these bigger accounts, overkill, overkill, cooking, cooking with grease. So how it works is once you buy these accounts, again, you're all in for $59. It's 12 days to a live brokerage. Now we can also bump this down. Let's say I want to do 5 days. So you see when I'm changing the amount of days, the price is changing also. Same thing, like right here, the price is changing. So with us looking at this 25K account, again, we can also trade the amount of contracts that we want to trade with. So let's say you want two minis instead of one. Again, I don't know why you would want to be really trading two minis with $1,000 DLL, but if it floats your boat, I mean, you can. I mean, you can trade four. You can have your DLL be a little more. But what that does is whenever you change this DLL, it also changes how much you got to make on your account. So I don't know if you see the profit target is now 39.50. Um, so yeah, the goal, this is the sauce that I'm going to drop. The sauce isn't to have the biggest DLL. That's not it. The sauce is to get these accounts. pass number one, we got to make 17.5, 1,700 bucks. $150 a day, you do 10 days of that, you're already at 1,500. So you can easily get this account passed, within, 10 days if you're going for a little bit more. Um, Once you actually pass the account, now, in order for me to hit a payout, so I have to make $1,700 again. So in the case of these bigger accounts, right? If I want to get one of these bigger accounts, on the live side, once I pass, I have to make $10,000 before I ever can withdraw a payout. That's crazy, you know? Yo, can somebody mute themselves? Who's that?
Oh God.
Oh, okay, okay. With this, right? You have to make $10,000 before you can even sniff a payout. Let's put this trader who goes the pro route compared to the person who goes the starter route. In the starter route, I only have to make $1,700 and then I'm doing daily payouts. So if I hit $1,700 day one, guess what? I can request a payout day one. If I want to hit a payout day one on the pro account, guess how much I got to make? I got to make $10,500. Not saying that is not impossible, but it's improbable for you to do that. It's very hard to make 10K in a day. Super hard. Hell, it's hard to make 10K in a week. This person is instantly gonna get paid out way faster. So 10K, you got to make 10.5. Hell, I got to make 17. At that point, essentially, by the time you make your 10K, I'm already gonna be up 9K, almost. And so at that point, I mean, who's winning? This person who has the bigger account. That's why Top Step wants people to get those bigger accounts because the 50K accounts are easier to pass, number one, lower profit target. And then once you have the $150, I mean, it's the same way on both accounts. So this is going to help you get paid out faster. The sauce is also, again, you can get four of these accounts. So when you go live, guess what they do? TFD has it where they combine your accounts. So you got two of these accounts, you can combine these up. So instead of having $1,000 daily loss limit, you now have a $2,000 daily loss limit. Isn't that radical? Like you have it where, again, it's the equivalent of you having a 50K account, having to get a lower profit target. Yeah, here you're doing double the work. You do have double the minis and whatnot, but yeah, here's a lot easier. Daily base hit of 146 versus a daily base hit of $438 a day. This is the best bang for your buck. Smaller these accounts, again, like I would love to see everybody get a bigger account and run the race, but the problem is with these bigger accounts, yeah, I got a lot of drawdown. With these bigger accounts, oh, you got to make so much more money. So look at this. 1,000 to 17.5, 2,000 to 3,500. If you divide both of these numbers, you will see that this is the best deal. Divide 1,000 by the 17.5 and then divide the 2,000 by the 3,500. You're going to get a profit ratio. This is actually horrible. This is super horrible. So the starter plan is what I would tell you guys to do. Number one, the amount of money that you're going to save going this route with four accounts compared to buying five accounts with Top Step. This is a one-time fee. This is what you guys are seeing, one-time fee. You pay this $59. As long as you pass within 30 days, guess what? I don't have to pay no more money. With Top Step, you're going to pay $50 per account. After you pass those accounts, you have to activate each account. That's an activation fee. The activation fee is $150. So you got five accounts. That's $750 that you're going to have to pay, which is $1,000 all in, assuming that you don't mess up on any of your accounts. This, platform, again, you're just paying 60 bucks. 60 bucks, you get four accounts. You're looking at $240. So you're saving $750 in this firm, just using TFD. HPS is all about keeping your overhead super low. And that's one of the things that we're going to preach um, to the day pretty much you guys leave. Like the lower that you can keep your overhead, the more money that you can keep in your pocket. And with this, a person who goes through with Top Step, you're having to wait, let's say, roughly anywhere from 30 to 40 days to see a payout, at that point. With these guys, you're seeing a payout probably after 20 days. So it's a lot easier to get in the game, make your money, pay your bills, and actually be a real trader. This, company, if you make $100,000 on your accounts, guess what? You can withdraw $100,000 on your account. They're not going to hold you. They're not going to say, oh, well, you violated this rule. We refuse to pay you. Hell, I just put up a post about Apex. Yeah, I've been paid over six figures with those guys. But they banned me because I basically made too much money from them. I took too much money from them with my payouts. So this company, they don't care about that because guess what? Once you pass, they're putting you in the live market. So the money that they're paying you, you're paying yourself because it's coming from the live markets. Top Step is paying you basically money from other traders who have failed the challenges. Like that's how they make their money. Well, that's how all these prop firms make their money. You fail on this challenge, and again, just think if this sale isn't here. This is $1,000, to take this challenge. You mess up on this challenge, guess what? You got to pay $1,000 again. And don't even let me get started on the static prices. You see this? I paid $1,700 for my account. Like, you guys are super gracious that they basically allow um, you guys to get this, like I said, deal so damn cheap. So again, static accounts, higher profit target. Yeah, fuck them static accounts. Get this, where it's pretty much lower profit target, same thing. Like I said, cheaper price, same amount of days, lower base hits, and have these accounts where you can get daily paid out after 20 days, 30 days max. You're gonna make a lot more money with this account compared than what you're gonna make with Top Step because in the case of Top Step, if I want to make $5,000, I have to make $10,000 per my accounts. On this account, if I want to make $5,000, I just have to make $5,000 and I can withdraw my money. So that 10K that I would have made on Top Step, I can only get paid 5K of that. If I make 10K with these guys, TFD, I'm getting paid basically, $10,000. That's my payout. So you're gonna make a lot more money, like I said, trading with the futures desk. And like I said, we partner with these guys. The discount code HPS gets you the deepest discount. And it's one of those things, like I said, this is, who I'm going to be pushing. Like I told these guys, like, I've been working with them for 2 months now. I told them, I said, man, I just want a prop where, it's no nonsense, no BS rules. Um, I can get paid out. I don't have to worry about being banned, from trading with you guys because I'm too profitable. And I don't want to have to deal with trailing threshold. Trailing threshold is a motherfucker. Like when you're trading, being up a trade and actually not losing any money, but just because it shot up $3,000 in profit and I wasn't able to close that trade and it comes back, in this instance, if I had trailing threshold, if I was in profit $1,500 and it comes back, $500 and I'm still up $500 in the trade, it's going to automatically stop me out. And so essentially my account will be blown even though I'm still up $500 on the day because my profit went all the way up, but I did not capitalize on it before it came back down $1,000. So that's any company that has trailing threshold is already trying to pull one over on you. You really don't want to trade with those guys at all because they have a mechanism that is set up that is not natural as a trader. It's not natural to be up money and be like, oh, you have to secure your profit now. That's not natural at all. We want to have it where, again, the rules are in our favor. There's no BS rules with the payouts. Number one, How quick is the payouts? The payouts are quick. 24 hours, you have your money. Top Step, you gotta wait anywhere from 24 hours. I mean, not 24 hours, 48 hours to sometime even a week, depending on how big your payouts is. I did a 25K payout and it took me roughly around about 4 days, 4 business days. So you do a smaller payout, yeah, you'll get paid out, quick, but again, you do those bigger payouts and they're gonna be playing with your money. Um, that's the worst thing as a trader to need a payout. And it's like, dang, it's gonna hit the bank account today. Like you just checking, checking, checking. It's gonna hit the bank account today. Week go by. Oh, dang, what's going on? Let me call customer service. Hey guys, like what's going on? I put in a chat with WendyBot. Where's my payout? Oh yeah, well we just had some complications. It's coming. It just has to be to your bank account within 7 business days. So you're looking at about a week and a half. That's too long, especially for you to still be trading. So from that point, I would have it where, you know, I'm getting paid with, again, no BS rules. I'm getting paid out, in 24 hours. So again, you can't beat these guys. However you want to take it, whether that's, Plaid, HCH, Rise. Um, I don't think they do crypto. But yeah, 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 they have it where, with the wires is super simple, very simple. Everybody can get paid from it. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. Like I said, while I'm pushing TFD. Lowest account, $60 all in. You pass in 12 days. Hell again, if you want to change this to 10 days, it's still not, too much money. $69. Extra $10. So hell, I would even pay that. $69 all in, $70. You got 4 accounts, it's 280 bucks. Again, you're saving $720 compared to Top Step. No activation fee. I just have to make, 1,700 bucks. After I do that, I have a live account. I make that $1,700 again. Now anything over that 1,700, I can withdraw off of these accounts. And the cool thing about these guys is on Top Step, once you do a withdrawal on Top Step, guess what happens to your MLL balance? It goes back to zero. So as soon as your account hits zero, meaning I put $2,000 on my account and I withdraw $2,000, my account is busted. I have to start again. Well, with the futures desk, that doesn't happen. This max drawdown, no matter if I put $5,000 on my account and I withdraw that $5,000, I still have a max drawdown of $1,000. So they'll still let me lose $1,000. My MLL, my maximum loss limit number is not zero. It's negative 1,000. And that stays with you the life of the account. So you can't beat that. Oh, you can't beat it. You can't beat it with a stick. Um, yeah, this account is superior in every way. Like I don't have any gripes. Like I said, well, the only little small gripe that I had with these guys was the fact that you can't 2 day pass. But again, that's neither here nor there.
And Lee, you definitely can be a supervisor, at craft or
Hmm. Exactly. So like, 10 days, like I said, we're pushing pretty much people going slow. Number one, that's what, the boot camp and like I said, us guys holding you guys' hand for. We want you to go slow. Like daily payouts, yes, is great. But then also just on, oh yeah, today I'm trying to make $3,000. So you get on and you're taking crazy trades, compared to you making your $150. Oh, I do 5 days of that or 3 days of that. I got $450 on my account. Guess what I can do? I can withdraw that $450. So let's say I want to go to, I don't know, Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando. Um, have it where I make $300 for my trip, in 2 days. And I withdraw that same day. So you can't beat that with the futures desk. All positives, like I said, the small con that I have is very, minute. Um, I like them. Customer service great. You put in a ticket with these guys, I mean, you get, shit done within damn near 2 hours. Like they're gonna be responding to you, if not 15 minutes. So I really like them. And, for one of the props that I'm gonna push, like I said, the only prop that I'll be talking about, going forward is because I know the TFD, like the futures desk. This is the way. This is the one. This is the one. You get you four accounts. You go to live. They combine two of the accounts. So now you have two accounts instead of $1,000 loss limit. Now you got two accounts with a $2,000 loss limit. So you can say, hey, I'm going to name you my aggressive account. So this is going to be the account that I try to hit the home runs on. Instead of that $150 a day, hell, I'm trying to see every bit of $450. The other account, you say, hey, I'm going to, make this my base hit, bare minimum account. You get your $150 a day and you do that again, like I said, for 20 days straight. I mean, that's paying you out 3 grand every single month with one singular account. Or you can be a smart person and say, well, I don't know about jeopardizing my money on. I'm just going to do $150 on every single account and I'm going to make $6,000 each month the easy way. But I just feel like I said, overall with the starter account, straight upside, unlimited, uh, caps, of how much, like I said, you want to make. Um, Everything is good. Like compared to Top Step, as soon as you make $10,000, they also put you on a K1 tax status as a trader. So Top Step, we're on 1099, we're a 1099 NEC worker, and our tax isn't the best. But once you trade with the futures desk, they put you on a K1 tax status, which now you're having your taxes instead of on, Top Step at 50%, what you're basically supposed to be, making that you put to the side for taxes. With these guys, you're only, liable for 27% because they have the K1, tax status. So again, you go with these guys. Number one, you're making more money um, without having double, what you have to do on Top Step. And when it comes to taxes, Uncle Sam, you're going to save way more money. So if you make $100,000 on Top Step, and I make $100,000 with I mean not TPT, TFD, the futures desk, you're going to have to pay $50,000 at the end of the year. I'm only going to have to pay 27,000 because I have K1 tax status. So you're going to save, I mean, you're going to make money, you're going to save money, like I said, on the back end, trading with these guys. Now, Top Step might change their stuff in the future because they're starting their own broker. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know yet. But as of today, what day is it? October 29th, 2025. Um, Top Step doesn't have that. So yeah, K1 status, game changer.
I have a question about those accounts. I see this, you can change the days to pass it. Is it a consistency rule for
Yeah,
the
it's a
days?
20, yes, it's a that's what you have is a base hit. So that's what this
Okay.
is a consistency rule. So whatever amount
Uh,
it is, again, like I,
gotcha.
I wouldn't change the days. I probably just leave it on 10, 10 days or
Okay.
six, again, if you balling, 6 days or 8 days, something like that, probably do eight, $80 per account.
Okay. Yeah, no.
And then you do it, but now you got it, like I said, your base hit, is a little higher. But yeah, it's consistency rule. So you break that,
Yeah.
you gotta, make more. Same thing like, any prop. But yeah,
Yeah.
they're sweet, like I said, code HPS and like I said, you guys trade it. But like I said, I'm trying to push everybody towards, like I said, these guys. Top Step cool and all, but again, Top Step expensive. They're expensive. Hell, even TPT, like the take profit trader, like they're good and all too, but they have trailing threshold. So why would I trade with a prop that has trailing threshold when I can trade without one, that has day one, payouts, um, and I'm not penalized for holding a good trade, if it's going back and forth on me. Yeah, this is the one. But yeah, guys can get you four of them. Like this deal is about to run off too. Like that's what the CEO told me. Like the next like 2-3 days. So I would say for boot camp purposes, these guys they have a practice account, but if you look at the practice account, it's $19. You know, $19. You do a reset, it's $2. Versus you paying $50 for a Top Step account. You'll have that account for a full 30 days, and you can blow your practice account up as many times as possible that you need to. So I don't know how many times somebody might blow up a practice account, but I mean $2 on reset. Shit, you're looking at, let's say resetting 5 times, that's already, $20. I mean $10, not counting the tax. And I advise all you guys, like when we're done trading, to get on and trade your practice account. Like we're gonna make sure that we manually lock your accounts because, number one, we're in the business of getting paid. Like number one, you guys are paying us for a service, and we're in the business of getting paid, later on. So we're definitely gonna make sure that you guys don't mess up your payout. So that's why we're gonna have a screen section where, hey, as soon as you're done, lock your account out. And again, we'll go over that in the boot camp, how to lock your account out. And once you lock your account out, then we want to see visual proof that you have locked your account out. So it's no mistakes. Oh, well, I didn't know my account was locked. I messed up my accounts. No, we do not need none of that to happen. None of that BS. Because when you mess up, that puts us further behind the 8 ball. And I want all you guys, HPS wants all you guys to basically get paid out at the end of your dates, whether that's with the futures desk or Top Step. Now, this is the big brain play, secret sauce. You guys basically should be getting one of these guys. Again, I would go with the futures desk first. They're cheaper. Get one of these accounts to eventually get more accounts with something like Top Step in the future after you done got a couple of payouts. Again, Top Step is $1,000. That's if you're perfect. You pass your accounts first go. You activate your accounts for the activation fee to $750 for 5 accounts. That's $1,000 all in. And now you make $150 with your accounts with the futures desk. So that's going to bring you $6,000 per month. And you make the $150 with your 5 Top Step accounts. That's basically going to pay you out $7,500 per month. That's the big brain play, to use multiple props to make more money. Does anybody have any questions about what I have talked about so far?
Oh, and we're gonna be trading these top step accounts in the university, basically.
Exactly. You're correct. You are correct.
Okay.
So
We
if
trading the whole 5 accounts together. When we get the 5 accounts,
you,
you go get them the SFA.
mm-hmm.
Basically, you pay the activation for all 5 accounts.
Yep.
So to be the 200, the 500, then basically, you know what I'm saying, get the payout from that, then buy some what's these people? Funded desks,
Oh, the futures desk. Yep.
futures desks.
Yep.
So you basically can run almost 10 accounts between both props.
Well,
Well,
yeah, it'll
nine,
be 9. Yep, yep.
9 accounts.
Mm-hmm.
$150 on nine
$150 a day,
accounts.
9 accounts. It'll basically be roughly around about 14 grand.
Yeah, now, what, MJ, but yeah, now what would be the play, what he was talking about is flip what you're saying, because say all in with Top Step, say you're perfect, 5 accounts, 50K accounts, 250, activate them 750, that's $1,000, right? But what he's saying also is with the futures desk, you're looking at a $59 account all in, no activation. So what he's saying is if you can take that model with there, I mean, and they trade on Project X if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So similar platform, you take that play with
The
Top Step
same
X, you're looking
exact
at
platform.
4 accounts at 59.
Mm-hmm.
That's a smaller overhead to begin.
Mm.
And then once you get that payout, say, hey, let's scale up. And by scaling up, you're still gonna be targeting the same amount of money. You're just gonna be adding on a different prop to where you can get more accounts. And Top Step is user friendly with Top Step X, but the futures desk, I think they have the same Project X,
Yep.
basically the same trading platform. But Top Step is just so user friendly. Everybody likes to trade on Top Step. But if you're looking at the grand scheme of, okay, I want to start off with the smallest investment, but maximizing profits, well, let's go with the funded future steps.
Right.
Right.
Futures
So
test.
a smaller, let's say 4 accounts at $60. That's what, 240.
Yep. Well, no, it's yeah, 240. Yep, 240.
Right, 240 and some change of taxes and whatnot, whatever.
With no
But
activation fee.
No
no
activation fee.
activation fee. But the thing about the futures desk I'm late to the party, everybody. But the thing about the futures desk is like I played around on their website is you get to modify their accounts based off how you trade. Um, so it's a little thing on there where you could edit, the account. So it could be a $59 account, but depends on how you trade. You could change it with, your drawdown or contracts or whatever, daily loss limit and stuff like that, which would make their account a little bit more, or not even saying that, you could change it for your days to go live. I think it's 12 at $59, but if you move that cursor, you can go live in, short amount of days or whatnot, whatever. But with the
It's way
universal,
more, right?
we're still targeting like the 150 or the 175, I think, with the futures desk.
Yep, exactly.
Around
So
175 over there.
yep. So with those guys, it's where the plan number one is customizable. And that's what you missed, MJ. I went over that. Just the customization of it and pretty much how after I told him like, after 20 days, right? Everybody, you damn near should be where you can get your first payout with the futures desk. So that first month, you should be, sniffing your payout. Now, the people who do it with Top Step, again, it's going to be about anywhere from 35 days to 40 days of you trading before you ever can sniff a payout. A full max payout, let me put it like that, versus you doing 5 winning days at $150 and, you need a payout. Now, you can take that payout, but again, we don't advise you to do it because you're going to kill your buffer. It's going to go back to zero. You put $750 on your account. You're looking at what is that? 750 divided by 2 times 5. That's only a payout of $1,800. Again, if something came up in your life where you needed that payout, by all means, take the payout. Like, we want you to get the bag,
Right.
you know.
Right.
But just know your account is only going to have $375 of breathing room on it. So that's one bad trade, two bad trades, and your account's blown. Now you have to spend $1,000 again to get that race started.
And more time.
And more
But like you're
time.
saying, if you gotta take those payouts, I would say, be transparent with,
The
HPS,
university.
so we
Yep.
know what you're looking at. And we might say, okay, cool. Yeah, we understand, but hey, let's load some accounts in the in the back end with say the futures desk. You know, hey, this is gonna be a cheaper, cheaper accounts to get. So let's load those up now, just in case, like I said, one or two bad trades and those accounts are gone. So just be transparent with, what you're doing. I mean, you don't want to die in silence. And, while you're hurting and nobody knows to like, okay, well, you might need to trade a little bit different, to get your winning days. You might not be able to, you might not see your winning days, you know, for a week of trading because you just got to put buffer on your account. You might just be targeting $50 safely with one MNQ or whatever we're trading at the time just to get buffer. 5 days of that could put you to you got a $500 buffer now, or $600 buffer. Okay, now let's scale it up and do $100 or $150. Just be transparent when it comes to like, hey, I need to take a payout. To guys, so people will know where you're at.
Yeah, you don't have to tell the group, but tell the teachers for sure. Yeah, the futures desk is, oh, you're gonna be able to get paid good. Great.
And from my understanding, there's no trailing drawdown.
Nope.
Um, you keep your buffer if you take a payout.
Yeah, yeah, we went over that, but yeah, you can go into further depth about that.
Well, yeah, like so comparing that to other props, like say MFF for one. I like MFF. I was a live trader with MFF like 3 times. But my path back to live, if I get $1,000 on my account and I take a payout, you gotta have for one, you gotta get a 1,100. I take $1,000 off of that with $100 that I keep in there. I ain't got but change in my account. My account dead. Well, say with the futures desk, you take a payout and you still have that buffer that you started with. So I'm on board with them. I'll grab me some accounts probably next week, starting Monday. I want to start fresh on a um, fresh week, and I'll have them ready for whenever we start the university classes.
Yeah, everything, like I said, get those accounts, make it where, like I said, we do our daily base hits, and like I said, just really lock in and get these payouts. Like that's the number one rule, like of HPS. Like we call it the prop killer right now. In the university, pretty much we are showing you guys how to get this money. It's so simple to do it. But if you look on social media, a lot of people are not pushing this route. So the route that we're going, I have a few big influencers who are going to be working with us. Hopefully, like I said, going into next year. This lady who has like 20 some thousand followers. She does regular boot camps. She's going to be on board at the end of this, or at the end of December. And we're pretty much going to talk about, going forward, with, the program in her community, like I said, being able to, get some more exposure. But until then, like I said, you guys will be like danging on your, first payout. Some of you second payout. I know some people already have funded accounts, so you might be on your third payout, at the end of December. Um, but yeah, it's going to be where you guys are going to, like I said, do the basic stuff. And I know, like I said, you'll see on social media, hey, I made $2,000. Hell, like you might look at my shit where I made like $2,400. Don't look what I'm doing. Again, I'm a little bit more advanced than you guys. I have 15 years on a lot of people here, with trading. But it's one of those things where if you just keep the blinders on, the $150 a day, like I said, it'll eventually turn to 6,000. And from that 6,000, you run the play with Top Step. You get max allocated with Top Step. Now it's, 14,000. If you have a husband, if you have a wife, if you have a girlfriend that you live with, boyfriend that you live with,
Right.
mother, daughter that you live with, somebody over 18 in the same household, the props that we trade with, now, instead of you having five Top Step accounts, you have 10. Instead of you having four, the futures desk accounts, you have eight. So now the money that you're making, we're making the same $150, but it's multiplied by 10. Now that $750 a day becomes a $1,500 a day. And now at the end of the month, that $7,500 turns into 15,000. Sometimes you just gotta watch the people you lay in bed with, though. Hey, hold up. No, that's my money. Yeah, yeah, I don't mean to, cause any rift between people, but it might happen, you know. That's the number one thing what they say people, fall out over with, and that's finances. So at that point, yeah, it's just a great opportunity. Like I said, if you locked in, it's a great opportunity for everybody in your household, you know.
All right. Yeah, the main focus, yeah, good points, staff. The main focus with this is to get payouts and and came up with this model for it to be the safest way to get payouts.
First toast, onion,
Right.
tomatoes. Oh, the toast is ready.
Who is that? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the main thing is to get payouts, and Top Step for one, and even the futures desk made it easy by saying, hey, this is what we count as a win for the day, and all good. And if you just keep it at that, and it's like, okay, if I can consistently come to the market and just do this over time, then we get these payouts, you know. So it's just, this main thing is just safely getting you there, because there's gonna be times where, like staff was saying, you're gonna see somebody on social media saying they made $2,400 in a day in minutes and XYZ and blase blase. But the university thing comes into, like, for instance, if you want a degree, you gotta go through how many years of school before you get a degree. So if you look at these payouts as, before I get a payout, I need to go through a month to pass my accounts. I need to go through a month to get my payout. Versus, I want a doctor's degree. I'm not going to have all 20, 30 of those classes all in, one semester. No, you're spacing this thing out to where you safely get your win on the day and be satisfied with the win on the day. Stop looking at the money and look at the wins. If you look at the wins, the money will come. And while this is going on, staff, we do it with HPS, have an educational piece where you have courses to see, like, okay, what made, the teacher or coach or whatever you want to call us, call that play. And if you're going through that course, you can see, the methods that he's using, the strategy that he's using to call that play for that trade to be taken. We're not just getting in there gambling to see if we're gonna make 150 off a trade, loading up, a NQ, let it pump. It can be done. I've done it before, countless of times. But that's not the play. We want to safely take these trades that we can consistently get that 150 and feel good about it. I didn't see hardly no drawdown, and I got 150, feel good about the day. My accounts are locked. Go feed my dogs, play with the fish, whatever you do, go golfing or whatever, and just count that win and come back tomorrow. And eventually, the whole goal of this is for you to get accustomed to doing that and being satisfied with it. So when you're done with, HPS, you just say, hey, I by myself, I know if I trade, 3 MNQ, I can see $75. I can see a $50 play. And I do that 3 times in a day. Okay, I see my 150. I'm satisfied with that. And you got the course, you can see where, okay, well, this is the type of trade they were taking in HPSU. I take these same trades, and I can trade along, you know, and like, it's a community, like, because you're not an HPSU. I mean, you're still in the Discord. You can still post in the Discord. You can post your success, whatever. If you do need to come back into the structured, classrooms, so to speak, then you make arrangements to come back to the classroom, But essentially, this is going to get you where you're comfortable with seeing just 150 and counting as a blessing, as a win, you know. And that's the whole plan behind it, the prop beater, basically, you know. we had a conversation, myself and staff, about, if Top Step ever banned us, we was gonna come together and start this. This was like a year ago or so.
Yeah, over a year ago.
And I didn't get banned from Top Step, but they put me on the Focus Trader plan because I was turning the burn. I have a good $7,500 a week payout, and then the next week I run through like 10, not combines, but 10 XFAs. Like I got XFAs in 2 days, and I blew them, and got XFAs in another 2 days, and blew them too. So I was running through them, so they put me on Focus Trader. So now I can only get one account at a time. I'm working on a combine now, which I missed the buy just a second ago because we on this thing. But it's for you not have to go through what we went through. Like, yeah, it's feel good to make, $7,500 in a week, yes. But, you turn around and look at what you spent the next week, might have spent, 2K that week or 2K that day. And the next day, spend 1,500. Oh man, I don't want to spend no more money over here. Go to Apex and, spend another, 4 or 5K. Like, so we're trying to get people to not go down that rabbit hole and be comfortable with making your 150. 150 is a win. You stack wins, you get payouts. Simple.
Exactly.
It's simple, And I mean, I'm pretty sure anybody in this group can come in here and they go through the course and say, Mama. That's some time. Okay, I'll give you medicine. You come through the course, you see how we're trading, like, oh, okay, cool. Like I see how they're trading to get their wins. After you're done with HPSU, you take your role, to where you don't need spring to be on. And you can take your plays to make your 150. The main thing is get satisfied with 150. Get comfortable with making 150. Be happy about making 150. A $2,000 buffer, you can see 150. And once you get comfortable, you go through the course, you go through HPSU being on stream, watching it happen. Hey, Momo, hey, you gotta be quiet, okay? Daddy on the phone, okay? All right, Momo, I love you. Yeah, so if you get comfortable with doing that, then just repeat that. You don't have to pass your combine in 2 days, take 20 days. They lay it out for you. The prop firms lay it out to way to be successful by giving you rules. And we look at it like, okay, Top still telling you got to rebuild in 30 days. Well, I'm gonna take this full 30 days or 20 trading days to make the money that I need to make to pass my account. Okay, if I divide the profit by the amount of days I got to trade, what number is that? It's $150 a day. So you make $150 to pass the combine. Well, guess what? They lowered it from $200 a day as a win to $150 a day. Well, guess what? I just do the same thing I was doing on the other side, on the combine side, to get to 3K. Yes, it's in the closet. To get to 3K and 3K on my accounts, I'm taking $1,500 off of how many of accounts I have. Recommend 5. That's $7,500. So if you look at what they're saying with their rules and stuff, and just like, okay, well, let me play into their rules. It's a game, cat and mouse. Hey, you just tell me what I need to do. Okay, no, I'm not worrying about rebuilding in 30 days. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use all 30 of them days or 20 trading days to pass this combine. And guess what? It's laid out on the XFA side. I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did. I wasn't in no stress. I wasn't in no bad drawdown. I didn't take a losing day and get flustered and then full port something the next day or as soon as market opened because I took a loss. I did that last night. So don't get mad about a loss and full port. No, I'm just going to do 150 a day. I can see 150 in the market. A lot of people being trading, they see their account go up 150 and they don't even take profit. But if you just keep taking profit at 150, you get to the end of the race. So that's the focus behind this is having those base hits to get to that run score. And that's it, and you can take this model after you see it, and hey, okay, now just sit there and this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay like this. I'm not gonna listen to the noise of, what side making 7 million in a day. Floating 5 million in a trade. Like, I'm gonna make my 150. I'm gonna get to my payout, and I mean, I don't know if anybody's on here that's gonna be mad about $7,500 a month. I'm not. And if you're mad about it, just give it to me. If that ain't enough money to you don't care about it, give it to me. We always say that. If you don't like $10,000 a month, give it to me. Let me have it. So just slow down. Take your month to pass your accounts. Take you another month to get payout. And that's essentially it. It's not even rocket science.
Yeah.
I mean, you might hear this and say, well, let me just try that. You might be trying it now on your practice accounts. If you got accounts now, let me just see let me just get winning days. And you might be good at it already at making, 150 or 175 a day. And just be satisfied with that. Make your 150, make your 175, and get out in the market. And then, like I said, the other side of this is the courses that staff offers. Okay, well, let me see how this guy trade. Let me see his mindset. Those courses, like I said all the time, like staff, I don't even need to tell me what trade you in. I know how you trade. I know what you in right now. Yeah, right. Yeah, you on the short right now. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm short. The entry was amazing today. Wish I would have had that entry.
Yeah,
I was
well,
gonna trade it.
I gotta post it a little later, the trades. But yeah, today, guys, I made like $2,400. First little trade, ugh, a little ugly. But then the second trade was damn near the top of it. Like if I would have held it from where it dropped off, like I literally had it at the top. Like let me go on the chart real quick.
Nine three
Let me
three.
show you. Um, yeah,
Gold trade. I
yeah,
remember.
gold trade. So this is where I had this trade. I was in at like what? I can't remember. Where was that? Yeah, I was here. This is where I was at. This is where I had my short. 933. Let's just say point 0.5. So I got in. Again, I don't know if you guys can see this. I got in on this candle. Very top, tippy top. So I got in right here. No drawdown. I took profit somewhere like here because I was waiting on it to punch down. It punched down one time. It showed me every bit of 2 grand. Snatched back up on me. My TP I think was like here. It was 13. Yeah, it was 13. My TP was 13. It would have been basically like a little over like two something thousand on the day. It was like, yeah, my TP is like 13. This is my TP. This is my TP level, this green level. It snatched back up on it. I was talking to MJ, and you were on the phone. He was like, I don't know, cuz like NQ dropping right now. And if you look in the course, uh, this was a knuckle. This is a knuckle. This is what I call a knuckle. Right? I was in this trade here, like short. And I didn't look left. Again, sometimes I don't look left. I came to the charts a little late. FOMO. I was talking to people very late last night. And by the time I went to bed, it's damn near 1 o'clock. So again, I missed all the good sale. Like I wanted to jump in this sale up here. And so I jumped in here and oh, this thing fucking ripped my face off. Luckily, I jumped in light, but it ripped my face off. And had to turn that trade loose. And at this point, I said, hey, like I still believe in this short, and if anything, it's gonna go for this knuckle. And essentially, that's what it did. But it came close enough and bounced up. Like if I could turn this thing like on the 1 second, let me see if I can turn this on like the 5 second, like a 5 second chart. You can see like very quickly it snatched down. Like this was like in 1 second, it snatched down and snatched right back up. So it moved so fast, I didn't even have time to react to trail in profit. And so then at this point, I think I was up like 1,200 something dollars here. And I'm like, ah. So it came close again. I said, relative double, equal bottoms right here. Hey, I'm going to secure my profit. So I secured my profit. I clipped the trade. And I went to get on NQ because it was moving a little better compared to what gold was doing. But then I looked back at my gold chart. Let me just get back in. So I jumped in with 3 contracts where I had 1 contract up here. Because of the previous trade, again, I was kind of shy about throwing so much size on because what I didn't want to do was have this one trade be a loss and then also have this be a bigger loss, due to the fact that I'm throwing on more contracts. So I just did one compared to where I did 15 here. I did 15 micros compared to one GC contract. So like almost 1.5 the risk for the first trade. So 1.5 less the risk I meant for the second trade. So at that point, price ended up flowing down. And like I said, I jumped back in here as soon as it broke. a 30 contract trade. I think I took like 900 something bucks, and then I got the other little bit, hit my $2,400 mark. That's what I've been trying to make guys every single day. I hit that and I was done. But had I held from my first entry, so this entry from here to here, right, got me $2,400. Look how much it dropped off. I had the tippy top of the fucking trade. One contract, this would have been a $9,000 day. I had the perfect entry. Actually, a bit more than that. No, yeah, it'd been a $9,000 day. This would have been a $9,000 day from one contract. And normally I trade with three. So instead of $9,000, this would have been a $27,000 day. But what I have been doing, I have been building my account up so that, going into next year, like, it's gonna be spooky season. I'm not stopping until I get $5,000 to $10,000 a day on my accounts. But again, don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm at an advanced level. You do your year and a half, and then you can become an elite member. Like that's what the elite tier is for, taking the bigger trades, more money, but again, you guys got to graduate first with the basics. And then after you do that, you're in the VIP, you're going through the course, and now you feel confident when you can take these big trades, then hey, the elite trader, program is for you. And I'm going to be brutally honest. If I look at your trading and I think that you can be a good candidate, or you're not going to be a good candidate for the elite trade. So you have to work like a dog. Like I need to know that you're number one, showing up every single day on time in the Zoom, that we're meeting for the boot camp, not taking a day off. Like there's the Candlestick Bible book, for people to basically read. I'm going to want you guys to not read that book one time, but by the time the 8 weeks is up, have be read that book 3 to 5 times. We get done with our trading, we shut your accounts down. We make your 150. $150 with gold. Let me show you what $150 looks like with gold. What am I looking for? This is 150. This line right here is $150 with gold. This is the price of gold. There's nowhere in this chart where you guys can't make 150 fucking dollars. It's everywhere. Let's say price snatched that. Let's say you jumped in this trade right here trying to say that the price was going to go up. It would have snatched against you $750, but guess what? It finally came and hit your TP. And then it ran, something crazy. $6,000 you could have made from that trade. So we're going to put you in the right position to, again, like I said, not even take all this risk. Now, this is traded with one GC, or 10 MGCs, 10 micros, or the equivalent of one mini. And like I said, we'll go over that in the actual boot camp. Uh, but yeah, we don't even want you guys risking that much per trade. We want you trading something else. I really don't even want you guys trading gold, but hell, we might. Trading one MGC. One MGC is $1 per tick. Now, instead of, 15, now we need to catch 150 of these boys. Where is that? Where we at? So now we need to catch 150. And we don't have to catch that 150 all in one go either. But now, you know, this is more reasonable. We can catch our $150, from this, range from here to here. That's $150. Upside, bottom side, upside, bottom side. And you'll see, like I said, if we measure this, we were in this trade for roughly an hour. Sometimes it might take a little longer. In this trade, roughly, an hour and 7 minutes. In this trade, roughly, 31 minutes. In this trade from here to here, if you shorted this at the very top, 45 minutes. And like I said, once we get you guys comfortable, guess what? Instead of trading with a one, now we're trading with a two. So we're trading with a two, that's $2 a point or $2 a tick, I meant. Um, Now instead of having to go 150 ticks, guess what? We only got to go 75. I think I can get that. Yeah, we only got to go 75. So we cut the distance in half. And now, guess what that does with our time? 14 minutes. And drawdown, say we jumped in the buy, 25 minutes, you know. Jumped in the buy, 50 minutes. So that's essentially what we want to do with you guys. And again, once we get in, like you'll understand we don't have to hit the full 75 ticks in one go. Like we can split this up, you know, 38, 38, and do it like that. So again, we're going to teach you how to get in the right position to eventually, um, oh, I don't know why I deleted that. To eventually, like I said, be able to catch these monsters. That's what the course is there for. In the course, I started with 5 XFAs, 100K accounts. And by the end of the course, I had made $100,000, got paid out 100K on my accounts. So it's one of those things. If you guys stay locked in, the same place that I'm taking, same when I'm sending trades, you already know why I'm in the trade because it's entry criteria that I am taking. Indicators on my chart, and pretty much value areas and all this other stuff. But it's where if I'm taking that trade, you should be taking that trade. That's why I want you to, if you are a trader who is already experienced, I want you to forget everything that you have learned so that you can accept these teachings and have it where you're not clouding your judgment, clouding your execution at the time for you to get into a trade. You're trying to go off of what ICT is saying versus what HPS is telling you. But yeah, I definitely look excited to, work with everybody, based off structure. Again, we talking about knuckles, support resistance, great little buy up. Have been, 1,700, almost 1,800 bucks on gold. But yeah, we're gonna get you where you guys need to be. The main thing is, uh, yeah, you just got to stay prepared, stay locked in. Like MJ was one of those people. Like I said, MJ started last year. Again, I mean, he could tell you a little bit about himself, but after he did the mentorship of 8 weeks, he made $100,000 paid out. So it's one thing to make the money on prop accounts, but paid out is a different thing. So we go off of how much he paid out, or he actually made about 200K over that. But actually getting paid out, like I said, is different. So what we have for you guys is $60,000 paid out after the 6 months. If you guys stick with us. And MJ did what I'm telling you guys to do, the extra work. He did that on his own. Like, yes, I can like to say I held a um I held a hand in, like I said, helping foster that, fire. But you just got to have that desire, to you got to have that desire to be able to go to the next level. Everybody doesn't have that dog in them. I wish they did. Yo, Corin, can you mute yourself? Yeah, I think you came off mute. Oh, thank you. So it's one of those things where, yeah, you got to have that dog in you. If you don't have that dog in you, you ain't gonna make it. I cussed one of the old members out back in the day. He's a young guy. He wasn't doing the work. I had to give him tough love, you know. And I said, man, if you feel any type of way about the words that I'm telling you, that's great. You got a fire, it's burning in your soul, burning in your nuts. I said, that means, you actually care. If you're angry, you actually care. If you don't feel anything, then everything that I just told you, and I'm not going to repeat that, is actually true. You know, give up on this shit. Trading is not for everybody. And so when we had that conversation, a tough love conversation, I told him, hey, I'm just talking to you like I would talk to my brothers. He gave me a text and said, hey man, I just had my first 10K withdrawal month with my funded futures. I'm so happy you gave me that, pep talk. I put my head down, I stopped being indecisive, and now I can actually trade. So sometimes you might need that little extra nudge from your coaches. Like I said, everybody's grown. That's why HPS University exists to put you guys in a strategic position so that you guys succeed. Nobody is going to baby you, going to coddle you, but we're going to try to be on you as much as possible because, again, when you guys succeed, we succeed. If you don't make any money in the month, well, you ain't got any money to pay HPS. We have like 4 workers. You don't have any money to pay your tuition, month to month. So we want you to have money in your pocket. So it's easier, as Ben the Don would say, to come up off it. We do not want you guys basically out here starving and we're taking your money on. And again, it's one thing too, where most people in our position are not good traders in the trading industry. They make money selling courses. I'm gonna be real with you guys. MJ, when you guys came in, past when I did the mentorship, how many months did I teach before I ever even got another payment from anybody?
Did you get another payment for anybody?
No. That's the thing.
Okay. I charge you some bread now.
Yeah. I'm saying you did off the strength, but it's one of those things, guys, where I did it like that because it was people, like I said, people that not only I was, kin to, you know, I saw myself in them starting out as a trader. And it was one of those things too where I said, hey, like for this class, when I start futures, my first class, I'm not looking for any bread off these guys. I'm making my money from, the markets. I made my money in crypto. I made my money in Forex. If people locked in, I want to see that 6-figure earner. I want to have my hands in saying, hey, I did that. I helped. What Young Thug said? I created you. Well, God did, but it's one of those things where, yeah, that made me proud. Seeing these guys make money made me proud because I know how hard it is to start this journey. Like, yeah, I probably could have made 100K, versus the 20 something thousand that I made. You know, I'm paying $750 a month for Zoom, you know, crazy amounts of bread, you know. I'm having accounts that I'm trading in front of these guys. So, some of these accounts I'm cooking. Some of the accounts I'm just trading just to trade for entertainment, spending bread. I'm shooting people money. You don't have money for your account? Here you go. I did that multiple times. Sent out buku bread. And it's one of those things where I'm doing that because I want to see you succeed. So if you're not making money from trading, that's a direct indication on me, us, the HPS team, that we're not putting you in position to win. And if you don't have the funds, hey, I said in 2025, hey, I ain't giving no more handouts. I gave out thousands and thousands of dollars. I ain't doing that shit no more. But it'll be where if you couldn't pay, let's say the following month after the boot camp, we're going to have a talk. Talk with us. Again, you don't have to tell your peers, but talk with us, the team. And from then we can strategize. Number one, what's going on? Hey, you've been on the calls, like, hey, we've been securing our money. We've been making $150. Like what's going on? And we do a deeper dive, a deeper analysis. So you get your money, when we're on the accounts, but as soon as you get finished, um, you go trade on your own and you're losing $300, $400. You're blowing your account. That's what happened. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna stop that shit. That'll be pretty much the conversation that we would have. Again, tough love. But yeah, we're not like vampires out here. Like again, if you have, real health issues, I have Crohn's. You have health issues, like, and you need that bread, and it's like, hey man, I can't afford to pay you guys this 1,500. Hey, we got no problem with that, per month. But hey, just know you got that balloon payment the following month. Do what you need to do. But again, we don't work for free. And honestly, after the 8 weeks, if you learn the mechanics right, I mean, you're going, of course, have to have the course. The course is a standalone product. But if you have the course and you're just doing the mechanics, you can make the money yourself. You don't have to pay us no money. Like you heard MJ say, like the style of trading that we do, it's easy, repeatable, recognizable. If I'm taking that trade at a level, you should be taking that trade at a level. Same level because we're trading the exact same model. HPS would love to take your money, but just how the futures desk wants to see you succeed, we want to see you succeed also. Yeah, if you come with us, we'll take the stress off of finding a good trade. You can just pull up to the stream for the hour, get your bread, and leave. Um, but yeah, you can learn to be self-sufficient also. So you don't have to pay us the $1,500, per month, just for signals. Now, if you want to do the elites, trading where you're getting in, you're making way more money, then of course it makes sense to go the elite route. Because like I said, we're doing big trades compared to, just $150 a day. Like $150 a day is baby food. That's what we say. It's baby food. It's easy. Um, but yeah, putting you in that structured environment, it's a lot um, easier for a alcoholic, to go without having a drink versus sitting at that bar, alone while everybody else he sees is getting served drinks. It's going to be easy for that person to relapse. So we're the bartender who say, "Oh no, Frank, you can't have any more. Your liver's bad." So we're going to be that person who shuts you down. Like I said, I know everybody's grown, but that's where we come in. Because if you sign up for HPS University, we're going to make sure that you're successful. And I always tell people, hey, if you were so successful with trading, you would not be here. This is a waste of your time. So everybody who is consistently making $20,000 a month from trading, this isn't where you need to be. So if we have anybody like that, you can kindly exit the community or help, for free, you know. But I don't know if we have any people like that, to my knowing. If there are here, speak your speak your well, speak up. I meant, or forever hold your peace, however they say it. But it's one of those things where, yeah, we're here to help you guys. But everything now is ran by a robot. So again, the robot AI has no bleeding heart. Everything's on a subscription-based model. Um, if you do have some issues, again, you have to alert the humans so we can turn the machine off, for you. But we look for everybody, like I said, to make your $7,500 the easy way. Get you guys consistently profitable where you can then go tell somebody. Because you're going to want to tell somebody. You're going to get that new house, a new car, trips. That's the thing about people. Most people, can't hold their water. You're going to tell somebody. If not for flexing to help better somebody else's situation. And you can't have somebody come in and want to try HPS if you are not making money. Why would somebody pay, $1,500? It doesn't make sense if you yourself have not made money. But if you're messing up because you're messing up and everybody else is succeeding, who's following the plan of what we have, the guidelines set up, the rubric, curriculum, um, what are you doing? You're doing yourself a disservice. So that's why you guys come in as cohorts and you guys can talk to each other. Hey, I'm this much up on my account, or oh, I'm at this chapter in the Candlestick Bible, or oh, if you guys, some of you guys purchased the course, oh, I'm on episode 3 of the course. What do you think, Vegas meant when he was talking about a knuckle? What's a knuckle? I don't know. Well, on Saturday when we have the paperwork party, when we go over it with everybody, our entries, our exits, we talk about what happened in the market. That would be a good question to ask him. And so that's the conversation that we can have. So you guys talk amongst yourselves, and then of course, like I said, on the weekends, that's when we meet. Also on a Saturday in the morning, we discuss entries, exits. Everybody shared like if you trade with Top Step X, they have where you can share your trading history. So again, you share that with me, put it in the group where people can see your entries, your exits. So if you're messing up, again, we can look over your entries and correct that because guess what? We have our entries that we took at the same time, which you guys should be taking at the same time. So I can see, hey, well, Jalissa, you didn't get in on time. This is why you were in drawdown or you didn't make $20 where we made $80 because you got in too late. And I can see that as a common theme on all your entries and exits. So we're going to make sure, like I said, you guys are in position to make money, to do well, get you guys, like I said, your consistent payouts. And then ultimately, like I said, once you guys graduate, like I said, the basic stuff, then, like I said, we have the order flow stuff, which we'll go into depth on that, like I said, at a future date. The good thing about being in the mentorship, like I said, you purchase the course, any course that I ever do from that date forward, you get it for free. It's kind of like a lifetime, course for the material pretty much is getting put in there. And then we're going to have our institutional trader, Barlow. He's not here, but yeah, he be on, trading in Asia session. So if you guys are interested in trading in Asia session, once you guys get your money up. So it'll be like 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what everybody's schedule looks like, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can trade with him, you know. You can make bread all around the clock. I just would say if you're going to trade, limit yourself to 2 sessions. If that's going to be at night and that's going to be European session, that's great. I don't know. Like I said, some people might have a day job. But for me, like, yeah, I typically try to trade, New York. If I'm teaching, then, I'll teach an Asia session, what we're in right now. But yeah, typically I only trade in the New York session. But like I said, I have traded all the sessions. But again, like, for me to be up uh 3 o'clock for Eastern Standard Time, I live in Houston, so I'm on Central Standard Time. I have to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, which is OD. But yeah, we definitely look forward to serving you guys. If anybody has any questions, I think we spoke enough. We'll go over, what you guys have, brimming on your minds. And it could be anything from how the, course will be ran to, or boot camp, I meant boot camp will be ran to anything, with the prop firms. And you can come off mute, everybody. So mics is open.
Hi, good evening. This is Breeze. Can I
Okay.
talk to
Hey,
you?
Bree.
Hey, I'm pretty excited. And you mentioned pretty much like erasing everything that you've learned because I feel like like a lot of times I get analysis paralysis because I've just obtained so much information that I don't even know how to decipher it sometimes. So yeah, you were calling me out on that one.
Yeah.
I definitely need to erase my mentals and just go in with a clean slate, open book. But this is really what I want to do. I want to be successful at trading. So I'm all in. I'm ready to get started. I'm gonna get those accounts and have them ready for the next week.
Okay. And,
And
and and another thing too that I did not mention with TPT, I mean not TPT, TFD. So whenever you guys buy your account, Clarence, and this is for you too. If you take a full month to pass your account with Top Step, you're going to pay a $50. If you get the 50K account, they're $50. $50 per month that gets rebilled. So the good thing about TFD is whenever you basically have your account, you get a 31-day extension for only $29. So it's no need to even rush because you're not getting charged the $79 again. You're only getting charged if
oh,
you
that's
haven't
awesome.
passed in 30 days, 31 days, it's $29 for the extension. So again, you're saving way more money if your account's hit a rebuild. So that's what I like
Right.
about
Okay. Yeah, because those activation fees,
it. They add up.
goodness, yeah, they do. They really do.
They add up. Especially if you ain't get no payout too. Ooh, be ready to kill something.
I mean,
Awesome.
I blew 10 XFAs in a week.
Dude,
That's what, 2K minimum.
yeah, 2K.
Dang.
I just
Yeah.
need to get better at locking myself out. I
Got one in the hole and I activated one. So
I have some days where I'll go up like two or three bands, but I sit at my computer all day, so I just get bored and keep
Nah,
trading.
now you gotta lock out. Just lock out. I've done that before. Staff, remember that day I was up like 3K on 5 TPT?
Yep.
And he like, "Cuz, what you doing?" And I just was just jumping in trades, just trying to see $100. And I blew all 5 of them up 3K. 5 up 3K. I'm like, "Cuz, I blew them all. Burnt down the farm." It was a video game, so you got to take that video game mindset. Like once you up, lock your accounts, man, and like I said, go walk your fish or something.
Yep. Gotta do
Your fish.
Do something. I mean,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
my issue too, the over trading because of boredom. Like just yesterday I was up 500 on each account and I just kept over trading and ended up being down 1,000 on all of my accounts.
it. Ooh.
So with people like that, like I was one of them too. I mean, I probably still am. I get bored. I want to trade, but what I've done is like I'm gonna send it in the Discord too. Like I've been trading a practice account. I get after my trades and I trade a practice account, and like I'm running my practice account up because I still get somewhat of a gratification of. I mean, what happens is you want to be right. So like
Mhm.
you risk the account you have to be right more than make money. You already up money, so lock your money in, get on your practice account, and be right or wrong in the trade that you want to take. So like even tonight, I think I traded. I put $400 on my practice account and $400 on my combine. It's like I don't mind trading my practice account, and like if I take a picture and send my stats on this practice account, I'm up like over 24K, which I let my I took a trade, just let it run out my practice account because it blew it basically. But I kept running it down and went to 100K out of 150K account, and I built it from 100K up to 174K because my goal is to take this prop money and put 100K in a cash account, and I want to be able to trade with a 100K account. I mean, I don't know who's actually traded with a 100K account, but that's what I'm doing now. So I'm taking my practice account now and trading like how I would trade a 100K account. And I made 5K yesterday, 6K Tuesday, 1,800, 5K Friday. Like I sit there and I trade my practice account. So that way I'm not playing on my profits. I mean, we need our money at the end of the day. So, take your trades, get your wins, lock your account, get on your practice. Because I mean, as traders, we like to trade. I mean, we have a passion for trading. It ain't even about money, honestly. Like the money is good. You can't say anything about the money, but it's just like we want to trade. We want to click the button. We see Nasdaq doing something. We want to be in there. So lock your money and trade or practice. Lock your money and get a combine. And I wouldn't even say combine. Trade or practice. Like trade or practice account. Like I've been trading this practice account like it's real money. Like, at the end of the year, I'm gonna be able to take all this money out of this practice account. Like I traded seriously how I would trade if I had a 100K account. So people that overtrade, take your win and get out the way. You know, I missed that sell off today that happened today on
Where you're at, take either
staff,
one.
staff can tell you, like, I've been talking about shorts for forever. Like, the NQ is about to fall off. I hope it don't fall off without me. I hope it don't fall off without me. And then I'm like, oh, there you go. Falling off without me. I couldn't do anything. Like, that's okay. So just secure your profits, lock your account. That's why in the classes, like, we want to see that your accounts are locked out. No degenerates. Lock your account, take the screenshot, show that all your accounts are locked, and go play with your practice account. Or again, walk your fish.
Yep.
You know.
We don't care what you're doing at that point. And again, I know some people are going to come from better financial standings than others. That's just the way the world revolves. But if you want to, like MJ is talking about, up, your potential earnings. Get something like a Tradify account or TPT, where you can work on that slowly but surely. So like the work that you're putting isn't going to waste. So if I'm running Top Steps, and again, the route that you guys going, you never should blow an account. But back in the day when I used to be super aggressive with my account, like a 50K account making $6,000 in a day, $4,000 in a day, you know, I'm always having some in reserve. I got to have that just because it's going to be one of those days with me trading aggressively where I'm going to crash out because I'm using big size. I don't mind getting into a trade being in $1,000, $1,500 drawdown when my profit target is, 4 or 5,000. But the thing at that point, if you're $1,500 in drawdown, it's like take that money you were in drawdown and put that on the profit side. Like nobody shouldn't be no $1,000 in drawdown. Like if you're that much in drawdown, you need to be making $5,000, $10,000. So we have it where, like I said, you guys shouldn't blow your accounts, but yeah, ultimately, after you have proven yourselves, yeah, if you're gonna start doing some stuff, then get, with another prop and just start again, the same process. Get you a 50K account, same process, 20 days, $150, for those 20 days. At that point, you're looking at the accounts passed. Now you should be able to earn some money on. Most props give you 30 days to activate it anyways before, they have it where you can't even use the account. So if you're doing that, you get a payout via the futures desk. If you go with them, again, that's what I'm pushing majority of people to use. Um, or if you go with Top Step, after that month, yeah, you should have your hands on another payout. So the activation fee, $750. Hey, I got that. I can pay it easily. And now instead of that 7,500 that I'm making per month, now that's a 15K, month. Doing the same process. Delayed gratification. Like this is, I don't know if anybody played the video game Clash of Clans for the iPhone, but like, or any video game just in general, it's like you're harvesting your resources. You're going through, cycles. Once you get enough money, Monopoly, hey, I'm buying a bigger house, a newer car. And you keep doing that until you're maxed out. So right now it's like really four props I would, recommend. Again, I would start out with TFD, lowest barrier to entry, highest potential upside.
then Top Step. From Top Step, then you have my funded futures. Then I will go Tradeify. All these accounts besides TFD, you can get 5 accounts. So it's $150 a day that you're making. It's actually being multiplied by, let's say, 20 or 19. Yeah, 19. Let me do the math on that. It's 2,800 bucks per day by you making 150 bucks. You do that for 20 days straight, it's $57,000. You divide that by 2, it's $28,000 that you're making $150 a day. That's how you combine. Have it where now, hey, I done had so much money. I'm so successful at this. I want to see the money Staff was making whenever he got banned with Apex. Let me get over there. I have the money. Guess how many accounts you can get with Apex? 20.
20.
So now you got 19 accounts with your regular firm, cash flowing you $28,000 per month. Now you go wait for you a good deal with Apex, spend roughly, let's say $4,000. Spend $4,000. I pass my accounts. That's me passing my accounts and doing my due diligence, making $100 a day, getting out the way. I get the 50K accounts. I take 2 months of me doing that. On Apex, if you get, 25K accounts. If you get a 25K accounts, you put $3,000 on your account, they allow you to pull $1,500 every single account. 1,500 times 20 accounts, that's $30,000 that Apex alone is going to pay you per month. That one prop. That is the end all final boss of prop trading. Even if it takes you 2 months to get a payout, that's still averaging $15,000 extra per month. And you can do up to 6 payouts with these guys. So you add that 15K plus the 28 that you're already making. You're making $43,000 per month on autopilot. You're not taking any risk. You're not blowing up your accounts. The main thing to do all of this, you have to have discipline. If you have no discipline, this shit's not going to work. You're going to have one bad day where you burn down the farm. Burn that motherfucker all the way down to the ground. Now you got to start all over. And the thing about going slow is now I got to do another 40 days. I'm losing 2 months where I'm not getting paid. Versus me doing what I need to do, sticking on, the ability to still get paid. Like I should not be putting myself in the gutter just because I want to make it happen faster. I want to be greedy. I don't know. I posted something, if you guys follow me on social media, what I got paid in 5 weeks for helping a guy get $150,000, him and his wife. A top doctor in Houston. This guy paid me $24,000 in 5 weeks. He made 150. He paid me 24. This guy came into my house, him and his wife, pushing the button when I'm pushing the button. So when it comes to having that experience, a lot of people don't have that luxury of coming over to my residence, doing that. You don't have that luxury. So while you're on Zoom, you better take damn near, care and make sure you maximize what you're doing. But if you have the discipline, Me and a fitness guy was talking about this the other day. MJ heard him. His name's Diddy. He's in the UK. A institutional hedge fund trader. He was talking about how, he's pretty swole when he be in the gym. Everybody comes up to him. Hey man, how do I get a six pack like you? How do I get, circular shoulders like you, man? How? And he tells people like, man, it's hard work, dedication. He's like, I'm natural. I'm not on roids or anything, but you got to give up the sugars. You got to, eat clean. You can't drink. You can't smoke. To look like I'm looking, I'm making sacrifices. And the only way for me to make sure that you are following the plan is for me to move in with you. I'm eating your same meals, or you're eating my same meals. When I get up to work out, you're up to work out. That's the only way we can make sure that you guys are successful. And that's why it's so important for what you do within the university. You're locking your accounts. That's the only way for us to hold you accountable because we know how easy it is. Hell, I've been up $20,000 on accounts. I was up $20,000 on my accounts last Black Friday. It's crazy. The 23rd, I was up big, $20,000. I felt the I know my shit. The market's going to get up, or the market's going to get down. I called MJ, and a couple members were on. And I'm putting this trade on, I'm going to bed. I ain't got no stop loss. Like, let me show you guys what happened. Like, if I can turn this thing and go all the way up. Where I was trying to short this thing, it ended up pushing all the way up, snatched all my profits. I had almost a $25,000 payout guaranteed. Like you talking about pissing away money, I piss away a lot of prop money.
Okay.
I don't mind, no money walking off the table. I am not scared. I am not scared of that at all. Where is it at? Where we at? 24, 24, 24, Sunday. Mm, I think it was the 23rd. No. Oh, we on go. I was like, why that shit? That shit is not right. Fuck no. Go. I mean, that shit was not up. Okay, yeah, we traded NQ. I'm gonna hold up now. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Okay. Okay, so let me go all the way back. November. You're gonna see how this market screamed up on me. MJ called me in the morning. I'm in my penthouse. MJ called me in the morning, cuz I hope you got out that trade. I didn't even. No, he didn't even call me. He sent a text message. I woke up. I said, man, this motherfucker must be joking. I instantly ran, instantly ran from one end of my apartment to the other. Fast as hell. Like I was, running in the 100-meter, dash against Usain Bolt. The market screamed like this is the day the market screamed the fuck up against me. I was short here. I knew that motherfucker wanted to get down. I was short here, went to bed. No, yeah, right here. I went to bed. I just knew the market was gonna get the fuck down and take out these lows. No, sir. I went to bed like around like 11. I was up $365 on every single account. I was just trying to get $500. An extra $150 cost me a $25,000 payout. That shit screamed the fuck up against me. It was crazy. I fucked myself. That ego. Fuck that ego. If you're gonna go to bed on it, close it. No, sir.
Have stop loss on.
Stop loss. That's what the stop loss is there for. I just had so much money on my account. I got my account so great. Yeah, it's gonna get down that extra amount.
I can get it like a day or two before that with that kind of had 8K of on. And with some just want to go to sleep, just wanted to be that guy. I
Yeah.
ain't have to go to sleep. I don't wake up to some money and wake up to the account liquidate.
Count blown, bitch.
The thing about it, like say, if we're gonna use the workout analogy, going to the gym ain't the hard part. It's your dieting is the hard part. It's the easiest thing to do, but it's the hardest thing to do. It's like stop eating sweet. Nobody wants to do that part. Everybody wants that pizza or that burger. Everybody go to the gym and do Pilates or whatever, but it's like the trading. It's easy to click that button. It's gonna be hard to get off the machine, which that should be the easiest thing. Get off the machine. So being able to just walk away, like the dieting part of working out, if that's something that anybody can reference to, just hey, I gotta hit that lock button. I gotta stop eating that Debbie cake. I gotta stop eating McDonald's. And I'm good. The working out part, oh, we in the market, boom, boom, boom. Oh, trade is hit. Hit that lock button. That's me, drinking a protein shake instead of eating Little Debbie. So it's one of those things where it's going to be the simplest thing for you to do, but it's the hardest for a lot of people to do because if you've seen those big payouts like we've seen, or you've seen those big days, like the one guy was saying was up what 3K or something.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you lock your account.
Lock your account.
Tatum, we've seen Tatum do that. Where you up 3K? What are you doing? You want more? I mean, I've done it before. Like, no. So at this point, it's like, man, I need my base hits. And once you get to where you're able to do that, like we'll see trades that, we're looking to make 150 and the trade run down, to make you 400 or something like that. I've had to have, on my accounts, I was doing the same thing. I was looking to make 150 and I made $1,000 on that account. I was just looking for my 150. I just scaled in like I needed to and sized in DCA'd how I needed to, and the market flushed for me and made 1,000 versus my 150. So it's like, you just need to get comfortable with being okay with 150. Being okay with finding a trade that you can see 150 in. And then, you get to the point to where you trail in profit. You trail, move your TP down, move your stop in profit. Move your TP down, move your stop. And you'll get to where you trade like that. Like, so this right here is really going to get you prepared to, be disciplined, to be satisfied with 150. And if you get 5 accounts, it's not 150 anymore. It's 750. So what'd you make today? I made 750. Well, what's gonna happen is what we don't want to happen is, well, if I would have made 300, I times that by 5, that's 1,500. And you start doing that, and oh, what if I make 1,000? How you times that by 5? That's 5,000. So if you get that out your head before it gets in there, if it's not in there yet, if it's in there, get it out your head and it's like, let's do 150 and let's keep rolling like this. I can safely get 150. I know how to trade enough to get 150. I've seen $1,000 days, so why can't I make 150? Up 20 days, go down the road, I got 3K across 5 accounts. So it's one of the things that myself, I just don't have the luxury with Top Step to get 5 accounts. But once I do get my accounts with the futures desk, I'm gonna look at my base hits. I know I can come to the market and see $1,500. I can pass combines in 2 days. I do it all the time. Or one day. Pass Apex 250K accounts in one day, multiple times. Like, cuz, hey, I just blew that account, cuz. You blew it? Yeah. But I just passed another one. Just stab it like, what? Yeah. Hey, but I gotta get to where look at, oh, my bad, y'all.
Yep.
And Q done the flush.
That's flush.
But yeah. Oh, we watching your screen, yeah. And that's sad. But yeah, just get to where you're comfortable with seeing the base hits, because the base hits are the minimum that you have to do to get your payout. And if I can do this consistently and without stress, because a lot of people might be stressed right now. No, MFF doesn't offer Project X. You got to trade on. I traded on TradingView, or you'll have to trade on Quantower. So yeah, messy. But yeah, so
Just
get really
Quantum.
comfortable.
Everybody use Quantum.
It's another trading app platform. It ain't bad, but once you got hooked on Project X, Top Step, that platform it makes it a lot easier. It's pretty, it's user friendly. It's one of the most, in my opinion, the most user friendly trading platforms. and it makes it like a video game. And I think that's like a marketing thing to where we want you to think it's a video game. Like, who was in the chat to say this up 3K? Yeah, if I put 3K in your pocket, I bet you won't let me go back in your pocket and take that 3K out.
No, sir.
But if I got you on this Top Step X thing, you say, oh, that 3K was easy. I'm gonna keep trading, and they're gonna take the 3K out, and you don't get that payout. So I think it's one of their I feel like it's a strategy to make more money, because if people see it as a video game, they're gonna treat it as a video game until they look back at their bank statements and see that they spent $1,500 in 3 days, on accounts and activations, and then it gets real. We want to stop it from getting real. We want it to we want it to be real for you when the money hits the bank account. Man, I played a video game, made $150 a day. And at the end of the month, guess what? I got $7,500. That's the narrative that I want to see everybody do. And that's what the narrative I want to do myself. If people are in positions to where they're not depending on payouts, I don't know everybody's, circumstances. If you're not depending on payouts, you should not have a problem with only spending, say $1,000 with activation, or just let's go with the TFD, and spending your what that is, 240.
Yeah, 240 to 280.
And seeing that payout of whatever that'll be. I'm not sure, that'll be what, 75, 1750.
Yep. So it'll be
in 2 weeks.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So times 4.
Yep. So you're looking at roughly yeah.
Let's click the button and see, 175 a day. And at the end of 2 weeks, 2 weeks pass, 2 weeks to get a payout. At the end of a month, let's see that payout of what? That's what?
Be about 6K.
How much that is? 35, 7K?
Yeah, about 6K. Well, with the profit split, but yeah, pretty much, that's what it would be.
Yeah. In a month. I mean, who's complaining about that? Take me a month, and all you spent was your initial 240.
Mm-hmm.
No, whoever got spouses, like, that's a better narrative to tell your spouses, like, well, how much you spent this month? I only spent $240. Even if you don't get that payout in the end of the month. Well, guess what? You only spent $240 versus you booming, busting, and that money adds up. I don't like to get too personal, but if I got to go back into my bank account and post that shit, you can be like, well, you spent $2,000 yesterday. How many accounts you went through? Yeah. I look back like, I spent $2,000. I got 5 accounts or 10 accounts passed. But them 10 accounts might not even see a payout. So that 2K was not nothing. The next week I might get a $7,500 payout to wash away some of them sins. But if I didn't get that $7,500 payout, spent more money into trading. But if I can say, okay, I spent $240 and it takes me a month to pass or a month to get a payout, that's a better narrative that, your expense for trading is, people's spouses or girlfriends or whatever, boyfriends, whoever, they're going to be asking, parents, friends, like, to know that you're trading, know you're passionate about it. How much you spent in the trading a day? I only spent $240. Okay, that's better than last month, child, because you spent, dang, $2,000. I know you were scared. We didn't get to go on our, trip to, Cancun, because you gambling. So we want to take that gambling out of it and get you where you safely get a payout. Time is on your side. And that's what we was telling a couple of guys that was with us. It's like, bro, time is on your side. Use time to your advantage. I don't know people's circumstances, but if you're not in dire need of, I need this payout by the end of the week, or my light's about to get cut off, my car about to get repossessed, whatever the case may be, if you're not in that type of position, a month should not hurt anybody to sit there and wait to get a payout safely. No stress. No more putting more money into the markets, flipping that coin. And if you, like I said, if you want to be that gambling person, gamble on that practice account. Take it on that practice account. Buy you one account. I wouldn't even suggest that. I do it sometimes. I buy a big account with Apex, and then I just gamble on that account. If I pass it, great. If I don't, then I don't. So it's like, just take the money part away and put the time part. Like, listen, I know what I do got. I do got time. And I put enough time in this, the money gonna come. And we got it set up to where you're just making your winning day, your 175 or your 150 on top stuff. Just make that, be happy, go about your day again. go walk your fish and get out of the market. I love to sit here and hit my trade and don't even have to worry about the market no more. Like I'm done. Like, whew, I'm out of there. See you tomorrow. And go about my day. I don't have to worry about the trade. I don't have to worry about anything. I've told people that wanted to learn about trading that I know it's like I hate trading. I want you to hate it because it's gonna get so addictive that you're gonna want to push that button. And I love trading, so that's why my coping strategy is using this practice account. I get so invested in this practice account. Once I make 5K on this practice account, I won't even place another trade. I'll make it in Asia, and I won't even touch my practice account during New York session. Because for some reason I think this is real money. It's like I ain't about to risk my $5,000, but it's play money at that point. But I get so invested because I want to keep it real, so that I don't want to be on my funded accounts messing them up trying to get more money. Like, oh, okay, yeah, it's about to happen now. Let me get on my practice. On my funded. No, lock it out. You can't lock it out. I mean, if it's a trade that you stalk, like we may stalk trades. Like I've been stalking that sale. I just was at the part where I hit my max profit that I could make. That's why I couldn't trade it. I didn't have a funded account because I blew it in Asia because I was, drunk from El Jalisco, want 2 frozen margaritas, and I just clicked the button. Like I'm clicking the button to see if it worked. But if I hadn't did that part, I would have waited all day and took that one trade on my funded account, that sale I've been waiting on for about 2 weeks, and would have been good. But we'll stop trades. We'll know where it gets to the point where we want to take a massive trade. But if you just get it in your head, I'm gonna make my 150 every day. Just make your 150, and we're good. You're good. Everything is taken care of. I didn't have to spend more money. I didn't have to reactivate or reset any accounts. I did. It's good, little girl. I did my big one with my 150, and I'm good. Okay, you can sit in here. Turn the TV on. Yeah, yeah. You can put it on something else you want to watch, and just keep it at your base hits. Uh,
Base hits for the 5 months of you trading, if you're trading with Top Step, is going to be $60,000 in your bank account. Let me say that again. I don't know what people are making. Where are you at in the tax, bracket, status? But 5 months of trading with Top Step accounts going for $150 a day is going to put $60,000 in your pocket. For some people, that's a new car, a down payment on a new house, multiple trips, private daycare for your kids. Be able to pay, for um tuition, maybe pay off some of your, student loans. That money is going to be something that takes the burden off of you. Doing the bare minimum. If you can do the bare minimum, I promise every single time, you're not going to be greedy. I get my money, I'm out. And you realize, hey, I just did this with this prop firm. Well, they also told me there's 4 other prop firms that I can use. I'm going to take the methodology that I learned, the processes of getting in, entering, and exiting these trades. I'm going to adopt that on all of these things. And now, like you say, I'm fully max allocated. And now there's $60,000, after 5 months. I do the same thing again with all these other props. Now I'm up to $250,000 by myself. If you have a spouse or, like I said, somebody you live with or whatever, kids, now that's double. Now I'm at $500,000 the easy way. My hair is not gray. I'm not having to be like staff, waking up, Black Friday day. Oh my goodness. I lost $25,000 that was guaranteed. Like, I'm one of those people, guys, because I am good at trading. I don't, again, mind money walking off the table. But hell, I even calculated what I didn't take last year. Apex was $180,000 that I did not take. Just one prop firm alone. Yeah, tops up in the mix, probably another 120. Payouts that I had pissed away, money in hand, payout eligible, ready to see a payout. But oh, I don't feel right unless I have max allocation, for my payouts. I've done that enough. I don't mind about, getting my, payouts done. And from that point, uh, I'm jeopardizing the bag. Luckily, hell, I'm like MJ said, we make a lot, when it comes to justifying that process. But again, I've been $250,000 richer. That's a down payment on a Lambo. Pay half a payment, on a mansion. I could have bought some land, did whatever. So look at the money that we're making, of course. That's why we say the paid out portion, but also look at the amount of money that we pissed away. Once you lose that money, it can't come back. It gone. You got to make it again. So we want you guys to not even go down that route, you know, and make it where everything you're doing, you're super efficient. You're like Kevin Durant in the basketball game. You're getting your 28 points, off of 7 shots. You're doing that every single day. Versus, I'm having to be like Kobe. I'm shooting, 40, 30 shots a game, to get that, 28. Again, both of them are great, but who's more efficient? And the efficiency is you keeping that money in your pocket versus you having to start all over. It's nothing like being on a bender where it's, oh, I gotta get back to funded. That's why I came up with the um, procedure of always staying ready so you ain't have to get ready. Because when you don't have anything lined up, oh my goodness, you're gonna spend some good money. Because you already know what it feels like to be off of funded. You already know what it feels like to, ooh, I seen that $15,000 payout from Top Step hit the bank account. Ooh, I seen that $30,000 payout from Apex hit the bank account. Ooh, I seen this $15,000 payout from TPT hit the bank account. So when you not on funded, you can't get paid. If you're not trading a cash account, you can't get paid. You have to do this race all over. And so you're rushing to get back funded because hey, I can't make no money on evals. I make my money on my funded accounts. So that's what we want you guys to be is efficient. Me, Barlow is our institutional trader. He's in the chat. Um, he's very wise, guys. He's very wise. You guys will learn from him. He trades in Asia sessions. Remember, I was telling you guys earlier about, he trades in the Asia sessions. We just have to, catch him, and if anybody is up during that time, like I said, he has no problem with you guys, sitting and watching what he does. So there's that, you got the help. That's what we're here for, to help you succeed. But you got to help us by helping yourself first. And that's number one, locking your accounts. You locking in, like I said, if you complete this 6-month journey, so a month for you to get funded, 5 months of you trading, that's $60,000 in your pocket that you've been paid out from Top Step or the Futures Desk alone. And from that point, yeah, it's just efficient, super efficient. And Barlow, you can say some words if anything's on your heart. I don't know exactly the time stamp that you came in here, but we reviewed the futures desk and also like the differences between them and Top Step. And I know you trade the futures desk also already. But yeah, you have the floor to speak.
Yeah, I think you guys covered everything there with locking out the accounts, being happy with the process and not initially, that is the biggest struggle for everybody. And that's, I think, the biggest value that HPS offers is accountability and people actually showing you, the right way to do these prop firms because there's a bunch of nonsense out there. And the tendency is to rush. I mean, even from my side, initially, when I started using their capital, it seems like a great idea. Like you're saying, you just use their capital, whatever you're paying less than $100 for an account, and you think that's gravy. But you start, like you guys are saying, if you start buying 20 of those a month, it's out of hand. You're not paying attention. You're trying to just basically, get paid immediately. And that's not how real trading works. So you guys break it down really good. And I like the plan process where you actually have defined goals, defined risk every day, defined profit targets. That's the key to consistency.
Exactly. We're gonna put you in position where again you're gonna be successful. We just need you to buy in. We need you to buy in, lock in, show up every day, learn on your own. Like, it's okay for us to take you to the water every single day, and we just need you to drink. But you got to be doing some work on your own when we're not in class. And that's the thing. Like, we're going to know who's actually doing the work. Because I'm going to say, hey, what's the knuckle? Let me turn my thing on D&D. People keep texting. But yeah, I'm gonna be like, "What's a knuckle?" And you're gonna be confused. And I'm like, "Hey, like we talked about this. Oh, this is in the course." Or, "Hey, we're on the chart. We're on the chart right now as a doji candle. Where?" And I want to ask somebody. Put you on blast. A doji candle it just looks like a cross. You know, right here. There's one right here. One right here. One right here. Where you see a doji, that means indecision in the market. We don't know if it's going to go up, price is going to go up or go down. But yeah, from that point, again, it should be where number one, we're calling out these different candles. So again, you're reading the candlestick Bible, you should be able to easily identify these candles. Same thing with an engulfing candle. This is an engulfing candle. Went very big, very big candle. No wicks. That's what these little, lines are. They're wicks. But essentially, yeah, it really has no wicks, just a huge body. This is an engulfing candle. Another little doji. And then there's little, chart pattern formations too. Like me and MJ was trading today, and that's why I said it. I was like, damn, the first trade that I took, let me go. First trade that I took with gold today, I was on the 3 minute. If I was looking at the 3 minute chart, I would have known not to take that trade because there was a doji here. Indecision of the market continuing lower. But again, I'm on the one, I didn't see that. Then this right here was, an inverted hammer. Wherever you see a hammer at, usually it's like an arrow. If I can draw this real quick. Ooh, where's the paintbrush? So it's like an arrow from here, points where the market might go. Again, that's all in the candlestick Bible. Again, my arrow looks kind of crazy. But all in the candlestick Bible. So hey, price is gonna go up, and that's exactly what it did. But guess what? It came and formed another doji. So by forming the doji, is it gonna continue to go up? Maybe not. And then from this point, I seen that
price ended up melting off. So this is where I got my entry at, 433. And again, if you guys are watching the social media, I will be posting my trading clips in the actual trading clip roster. And again, anybody on the team, if you guys want to post your entries too, you're more than welcome. I don't want it just to be my own, trades. But yeah, you guys can post your, recordings too if you have it. And so from that point, yeah, that's how I took my trade, basically with that, this gold trade. So it's being able to have pattern recognition. Again, I can't teach you that. Barlow can't teach you that. MJ can't teach you that, on the actual trade call that we're there for an hour. Again, you're not there long enough with us. You get the VIP like mentorship, then yeah, you will be there, a lot longer compared to, like I said, just the boot camp stuff. From that point, uh, yeah, you do a super deep dive, in the actual course. And like I said, you're reading your books. And upon you reading your books, you're realizing that, this is why the candles are forming the way they're forming. This is why the market should go up or should go down. This is why, we're looking at a knuckle here, right here, possible rejection that, hey, we rejected here, came here, rejected, shot up, came back down, rejected down. Guess what? This wick down here, this was a previous rejection, a long wick. Somebody was buying this thing up. They tried to push it all the way down, but somebody bought it up. Guess what happened? If I look left, guess what happened? They bought it up. They tried to push it down. They bought it up. So this was a great entry for a buy. Great entry for a buy. Have your risk, set in place. I see the trade. I'm taking it. Cheap trade. I run, the first target would be this first knuckle. Second target would be this second knuckle. From here to here, I mean, quite didn't hit that, but I mean, it got close enough before it rejected. And so we look at, just candle wise, again, this is an engulfing candle. Means somebody sold it with some strength. No wicks, large body. If I were to draw this and drag this out, if I were to draw this and drag this out, guess what? As soon as it came into this level, this selling area, guess what they did? They sold back down off of this. This is how you map out your trades. Again, this is all explained in the course, with real live examples. I'm not just telling you about it when it already happened, like back here. The market is actually moving when I'm giving my analysis, and it's happening to the T with me placing real trades on my real accounts. So, yeah, you guys got to lock in. You guys got to do the extra work because we can help you be a good trader, but it's a difference. It's a huge difference in between being a good trader, a okay trader, and being a great trader. And like I was trying to tell the young ladies on the live the other day, or was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Um, you guys got to do a deeper dive. As soon as you get all this stuff done, then it's order flow stuff. It's options, data stuff that you guys need to wrap your mind around. But again, we don't want to confuse you. It's too much information, information overload. I think Breezy was talking about that. Information overload, analysis paralysis. We do not want to get you where you're frozen in fear when it comes to trading. No, sir. No, man. We want to make you feel comfortable. And once you master this, okay, now I graduated. Now I can start, on the next advanced, part of my journey. But yeah, you're in good hands. If anybody else has any questions, you can speak now or forever hold your peace. You have to come off mute if you want to speak. Well, like I said, if nobody has anything else to say, I mean, I guess pretty much the meeting is concluded. And like I said, I am recording this on Zoom.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Stafford, I think if you want to save yourself 6 months, I mean, if I had had something like this when I was first starting, it would have saved me a lot of headaches, a lot of money spent. Um, so if you just look at it from how much money, you're actually going to save by not, by having some accountability, by having somebody protect you from yourself and making silly decisions, that's, really what you guys are offering here and the opportunity to actually, you know, get to the pro level, um, and not just be messing around, because a lot of people that's all they do. They just treat these like gambling tickets. They don't care if they burn through accounts. So you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be spending that way thoroughly. And that's the way I look at it.
Exactly. Yeah. Keeping the overhead low because, they're like the saying says, 90% of traders lose money within 90% of their, money within 90 days, from trading. The 90-90-90 rule. And it's one of those things where if you had $100,000 and in your first 3 months you lost, 90K of it, you only have $10,000 to basically go forward. You don't have any money. Like you're gonna be discouraged from trading. Like you're gonna hang it up and never, come over here again. And you have every right to be, mad, disgusted with yourself. And it's like, dang, I wish I would have never traded. Wish I would have never, found out about trading, I don't know, crypto meme coins or, futures, trading. Because I've seen the good come with trading where people have made hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I've also seen the polar opposite where people have lost everything, the shirt off their backs, having to move in, back in with family, have to start all over. You know, I don't want you guys to be the latter. I want your success story to, hey, I came in, I was excited about learning trading. I got a new skill. What Donald Trump is saying right now, hey, I don't care. I'm making money. Government shutdown, who affected? I'm still making money off these markets. These markets moving every single day. The day that the market doesn't move, we have, problems, big problems. So this skill that you get, you can pass it down to your kids if you have kids, family members. Maybe you're a retiree, about to come into some money. Now you can manage your, portfolio a lot better. Or maybe you, like I said, want to, I don't know, just have another hobby, that actually makes sense, making dollars and cents. Um, that's this is what pretty much we can offer you. Again, we're not selling anything. I again in the live on TikTok, had somebody tell me, you didn't get payouts with Apex, you're not banned. And that's why I tagged the lady today on my TikTok and hey, like whoever said that in your live, hey, here's the proof. There you go. I was telling people like, I may tell you a joke, but I won't lie to you. And it's one of those things where, yeah, we got your best interest at heart. We're not charlatans. We're not, snake oil salesmen. We're going to do right by you because I see myself in you. When I first started, like I said, I had to learn myself. I didn't have a mentor. The good thing about me when I started out, I basically started out in the crypto world. I was a broke college kid. When I started in crypto, it's pretty much like stocks. I buy a coin, I held on to that coin once it went up or down. So I was swing trading. I wasn't day trading. So it didn't matter if Bitcoin, I bought it at $200 and it went down to $150. Well, guess what? I still own one Bitcoin. The value is just different. It's down. This futures trading, what we're doing, oh, it's a lot different. Especially if you're trading with prop firms. You got things called margin. Like if you have $100,000 in your account and you have a lot of contracts on your account and that account is down half, guess what's going to happen? For every contract that you're trading, if it's overnight with NQ, you got to have $36,000 in your account for the daily maintenance margin. So as soon as you don't have the money set aside in your account, guess what they're doing? They're closing your position automatically at a loss, whatever it is. And they're going to keep doing that until your account is bled dry. Especially when you're trading with prop firms, most props only allow you to lose anywhere from 4 to 6%. If you're trading Forex prop firms, they allow you to lose anywhere from 10 to 12. Some of them 15%. So if you're trading $100,000 account with Top Step, they're only allowing to lose $3,000. So you lose that $3,000, bam, your account's blown. Guess what? Yeah, I only spent $100 for this 100K account, but now I got to spend another $100 to activate another one or reset this one. And that's where they get you. They make their money because they know that people, us human beings, we're not disciplined. People don't have six packs. People are eating crazy foods. People are not doing their due diligence when it comes to checking the news. Hell, I didn't even check the news. I knew the news, FOMC was, all this stuff was happening today, but hell, I didn't check the news before I jumped in my first trade. And that's what I told MJ. I was like, damn, like I should have seen that the federal funds rate was going to drop at a one. That's what got this market right now moving, sporadic right now. And I could have waited for the little liquidity grab to happen. So my first entry that I got should have been my second entry should have been my first entry if I would have waited. So we have a pre-check down list for everybody, like I said, who's joining, that you'll be able to print this thing out and look at it every single day. And I don't know if this thing I don't know if it's gonna show it. Oh no, it's not. But yeah, I'll show it later on. I'll do a screenshot. But yeah, it's oh, actually, let me see. Let me see. I might be able to open. Give me 1 second. Uh, where are we at? Let me download that joint again. Oh no, no, I know where to go.
Yeah. I'm about to get up off of here before I go. Just before, my main thing about it is, as long as you get the accounts and you take them slow, you won't have to spend more money into trading. And the upside to props is you get to multiply your accounts by 5. So you take one trade, you times it by 5. So take your time and pass your accounts. That's what we're really teaching you, is how to pass the accounts, and you just take that over into your XFA. And from that point on, you'll never have to spend more money into props if you just hit base hits. So it's keeping that is keeping you from going in a hole, basically, with trying to get a payout, a large payout in a short period of time. Time is on your side. As long as time is on your side, you shouldn't have to go into your pockets more than your initial investment. And if you just take it slow. And a lot of people do take it slow, but you don't really get to see or hear about those people that actually take it slow, and they're happy with $35 in a day. They're on Apex or something. They're happy with $50 in a day. And they're just trading like that. And at the end of, they got 20 accounts. At the end of it's time to get a payout. You time to get a payout by 20. So with props, with Top Step, or with the futures desk, it's 4 accounts. So you take those 4 accounts, you pay your initial money. Your initial was $60, and you just take your time on them accounts, get them passed in a month. And after that, you're not paying no more money in the props, and you always have potential to earn. Now I have the potential to earn. So however long it takes me to get to that profit target to take a payout, it just takes me. I ain't have to spend any more money. It might have took me another whole month to get to a payout, but guess what? I didn't spend any more money in trading, and I got a payout at the end of that. And I still have buffer because I'm not just taking a payout every 5 days and bleeding my account. I'll always have this potential to get paid. And with the futures desk, there's daily payouts, right?
Yeah, daily payouts.
Those daily payouts. So I don't know what they're requiring. It might be like that 313, or whatever. But after 2 days of 150 or 175, I'll pay myself. You're not going into your buffer. Your buffer stay in the same spot. You just pay yourself every 2 days. 350 or three whatever that is. 350, 375, three something. Times 4 every 2 days. And if you do that and you're happy with that, then well, great. You don't have to hit the home runs and be paying yourself $3,000 in a day. Not starting off. I see a lot of people takes years before they're even profitable, years before they even take a dime out of the market. 7 years, 5 years, or whatever. And like we talked amongst each other was in the last group, and I was like, in what 7 months of me first getting into futures, period. First, I've traded before Forex, but my first 7 months in the futures, 2 months of learning, 5 months of actually getting payouts, and I took almost 100K. I think it's like 96K. And I'm just like, bro, this ain't normal. My overhead was my overhead was like 45K into buying and purchasing combines and activations. 45K. So you gotta imagine if I wasn't as successful as I was to make the 90 plus almost 100K. It wasn't quite 100K, so I don't have 100K a year. So I'm not even gonna say I did because I'm still chasing that. But if I wasn't successful enough to have that 90 something K, and I wasn't taking payouts, I would have spent 45K. I would have been in the hole 45K. So it's like, okay, I want to get to where I have a year where I'm not spending that much money. Even if I don't make 100K, if I make 50K and I don't spend that, and I spend this initial accounts that I get, say $1,000 with Top Step, which I can't do that now. But if I had the luxury of getting 5 accounts, I spend my $1,000 with Top Step, and I take 5-6 months to get payouts. By the end of those 5 or 6 months, I made 50K. That's a hell of a lot better year than my first year.
Yeah. And another
That's a hell
thing
of a lot
too,
better year.
another thing too, MJ, what you're not really giving yourself credit for. You did that in 5 months. So if you add 12 months, which is a year, you were cut off via the taxes from when you started in April. So that's why, you didn't hit 100K, let's say in a calendar year, like I say, you're super close. But yeah, if you add that shit, you right now shit, you damn double that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that shit might be triple. So it's one of those things where
But
yeah.
what happened with that is it made me get greedy this year. So I don't even know how much I made this year. I know it's nowhere near 100K. I got greedy and I started like pissing on payouts. Well, the first 2 months I pissed on 30K. The first 2 months of this year I pissed on 30K. By having my profit, having my winning days, all I needed to wait for was the markets to close to request the money. And I got on there, like, just click a button, let me just take a trade, la 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 la, loot accounts. Oh man, 3K off of 5 TPTs. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And with 3K on 5 TPTs, I mean, I had to beat the buffer with 1,500, and I put 1,500 on top of that. So I beat a trailing drawdown, which is hard to do, in one day, and I got to my accounts to where I could get a payout at the end of those 5 days. And it wasn't even 5 days. I didn't have to wait days. I just needed to get my account up.
Yeah,
so one day I made over 3K.
Yep.
Beat the buffer. And then that same day, that night, I think it was like 10 minutes before the market. It was like right before MOC. So it was like 3:30 something. I took that freaking trade. MOC just ripped my face and blew the accounts. And the market was gonna close at like what 4:10, and they were gonna kick you out at 4:10 before the market closed at 5. And I could have just went and walked my fish. So this thing right now, what we're doing is keeping you from even thinking about that. It's like, okay, we tried trading. Like, I don't know how many of you actually tried trading already. We tried it our way. We had success. Then we blow accounts. Then we spent more money trying to get back. We spent more money. We're just in a losing, a spiral. It's for you to say, okay, It's time for me to stop putting more money into trading. And what I want to do is I want to put the least amount of money into trading and get the most out over time. Because in 3 months, if I only spent the initial $1,000 with Top Step, that's a win. If I finally get a payout, and my payout is, I might have my accounts at the 5K at a time. You know, wherever your account's at, and then you take a payout times 5. So it's like, if you take that approach, it's going to be better for you. And that's why we want to slow it down for everybody. So you will stop spending so much money and you get a payout out of your efforts, you learn how to trade. You learn how to trade and you're learning how to, get payouts. You're getting payouts right now while you learn how to trade. And eventually you'll have an account big enough to where you can take some bigger trades, and that I think that's another service that HPS will offer where we're on here swinging contracts. We're swinging contracts, We're getting in with, 30 ball, and that's a later date. Right now it's focusing on I want to spend less money into trading as possible to get payouts. And this right here approach, you're gonna win, 9 times out of 10. We're gonna be winning. You're gonna get to your payout. It might take you a little bit longer. It might take you, a month and a week to get those accounts passed. But guess what? You didn't spend more money into your account. And if you still got them accounts on Top Step X, they'll book you, they'll lock you in some resets. That'll be 5 resets. So it's about taking your time. Time is on our side in this market. The money's gonna come. Take your time, get your wins, your winning days. The XFA side just once we get 150, we're adopting that on the combine pass phase, and it absolutely just happened to be 20 days in the whole month. Well, 20 days, and we just do the same thing that the XFA is telling us to do. Accounts be passed, and then we just adopt that over to the XFA side. You're getting payouts. So, that's the plan. And we want you to not have to spend so much money out your pocket by turning and burning, because it's cool to you to pass a combine in 2 days, but then what happens in 2 days? You pay that $1,000, the $750 to activate the account, and they never see a payout. Then what? So that's my closing remarks on the day. Did the same that thing. Yeah. So yeah, I see you, Messi. Yeah, it happens. So that's all I got to say tonight. Staff, it was a good meeting with everybody, being able to give some insight on what we've been through and our approach of what we want to push forward with everyone else, so that everyone can be successful. I mean, you'll be making more. This is the thing about it. I don't know who all got jobs and salaries and stuff. I put in about $250 every pay period, so that's twice a month in my 401k. And I'm not seeing that money. I'm waiting on that money. By the end of the year, I might have, $4,500 or something like that in my 401k. So if you look at it as I'm invested into a 401k, and you just simply sit there and do $150 a day of sim money, and after the month, you're taking $7,500 out. You're a lot better than what your 401k doing. I mean, yeah, you got to start looking at it in as wins. All this stuff with trading is the glass, half full, which it should be more than that, 90% full. If you look at it that way and say, I'm going to just take the time, because I would take a year before I even thought about touching my 401k. And then I got to pay that money back on my 401k in a loan. So it's like, if I look at this as 401k, I'm only initially investing, say let's go the futures desk, and I'm only putting in 240, and that's it. That's it. It's not 240 every pay period. It's 240 once. And I just take my time on these accounts, and you're gonna beat what your 401k is doing. Out the water. You blow it out the water. Completely out the water. You make what your 401k is gonna net you at the end of the year in a month. Every month. This is what my 401k would have been getting me. And you're just killing it like that, and look at it in that aspect. And then if you discipline enough, discipline gonna be. I don't know if I'm just disciplined. I just don't mess with it I keep taking my payouts and I put it in savings. Take my payout, put it in savings. Take my payout, put it in savings. If I got a job, I'm making money, and it's emergency funds. But I just keep stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking. At the end of the year, like you're gonna be up so much. Take this money and invest it somewhere else. Take this money, and if you are somebody who's passionate about trading and you understanding you and you want to start trading in the live market cash account, big enough cash account, you might swing $500 a day. What's that? Okay. So that's my words tonight. It's been real, talking to everybody, but I do got a job in the morning. Don't get to deck yet.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Well, let's get to 6-7. I'm gonna go get by myself a goldfish real quick. I gotta make sure I walk it.
And get to walking it.
Get to walking.
Yeah, get the long leash now. You know what I'm saying? The goldfish like to walk it. But yeah, hey, it's all positive vibes, and we just hold ourselves accountable. I mean, Aiden, I'm not seeing you. I think you were the one saying he was up like 3K and stuff like that. I mean, you just gotta be disciplined to stop trading, bro. Stop. You might be a little bit more advanced, doing $150 a day, but just your thing might be stop trading. Like you might have a good trade and just say, okay, I'm up, whatever, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, so I have two fundeds right now. One's down like crazy, I ain't gonna lie. The other one I just started today, and I'm doing the 150 thing. So like I hit like 170 something this morning, and then I locked myself out for the rest of the day. And I'm just like, I mean, because I'm so far down on the other one, I'm like messing with that one right now. But
Yeah, I just keep base hitting that thing like that, man, and get to a payout. Get to a payout to buy you another.
yeah, I need it because I think I'm like 5 or 6 months in ish, but I think I've spent maybe, I want to say, like, I haven't counted it up, but I doubt I'm over like $2,000 or $3,000.
Oh yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah,
we was slanging them accounts, man. 20 to 40 Apex accounts in a day.
I ain't got that kind of bankroll.
Yeah, I mean, once you hit like we was hitting in the market, like we was all on here hitting a good payout. Like, we're gonna put it back into trading. That was my whole thing. That 45K that I spent into trading wasn't flat out my pocket. It was from trading money. So it's just like my overhead. I wasn't keeping it low. I'll take a big payout and I'll put majority of that money back into trading to make more money. When I should have just been like, okay, let me just slow it down now and just safely get payouts now forever. So
yeah, I haven't gotten the payout yet. So I would love to even just make the money back and just be like break even, bro. I'd be cool with that for now.
Exactly. Yeah. So like right now with that one account, the new one you got, if you just do your $150 a day, at the end of the month you'll have that's $1,500 payout. If you just took that month to do $150 a day, that's a $1,500 payout. That'll stop some bleeding, as we say. We got to stop some bleeding.
Well, he trade with the futures desk, so he can take out the full amount. They're a little different than Top Step, so
that's different. He's with other people.
No. I mean not the futures desk. Alpha Capital.
Tradeify.
This is Tradeify. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I have two 150K Tradeify accounts.
Okay. I thought I remember you having the Alpha Capital zero account. I thought that's what
I do have. I do have I have a 50K eval.
Okay. Yeah.
But both my fundeds are on Tradeify.
Okay. Yeah. With Tradeify.
Just quick. I passed 2 of them yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just got to keep them, man.
I can't be breaking the rules.
Yeah, can't be breaking the rules. Like I said, I shared the little, check down list, pretty much what we have. And like I said, I'll do another one for, when locking out the account for everybody in the boot camp. So, again, we're going to have a pane where you pretty much are sending your screenshots of you locking your account. We want to see that every single day, Therefore, like I said, we hold yourself accountable and we hold you accountable. And for that point, yeah, after the time, 20 days, I know I have a payout secured in hand. We trade too good.
Like what happens to people is, and it happens to me as well. It's like everybody's want that one trade that they just get in the right trade at the right time and it just goes. And you'll risk your payouts and you risk your hard work on that. You'll sit there and you'll be in traded so hard, and then you'll get in your mind for some reason the demon come out and say, this the one, this the one, this the one that's gonna be a 10K trade, this the one. And you click that freaking button, or you wait and the market pushes down, you want to jump in that sell and you FOMO, and that market just takes it all away from you. And it's like, let's stop waiting for that this the one moment and just safely get payouts. Safely get payouts. And you keep getting payouts, you have it in you to where you can buy another account somewhere else or something. And this account, I might not even trade it every day. This might be this the one trade. Like, I'm gonna just trade this one account on this one time for that this the one moment. But you want to keep getting those safe payouts, and that's what we're trying to get everybody to get that out your mind. That this the one trade, and a lot of people what Aiden said, you've been in trading like 5 months or so. You haven't seen enough of the market to even know when one of these this the one trades is even going to come. Like, if I show you what my Nasdaq charts look like within my first year trading, people think I'm crazy. Like, what is this? It's like a fucking quilt. There's so many markups and so many things that I've seen the market do. We've been in the market with an election. We've seen a lot of stuff, and I still can't say one of these. I mean, I've been waiting on this NQ short for forever, but I couldn't time it, and we can't time when that move is going to happen. We just got to be ready for it and take it. But why risk that with accounts that you have times five? Like the prop game is it's the cheat code, because you get to times everything by five. We're not even making $150 a day. We're making $750 within an hour. Tell me who's paying you $750 an hour. So it's like, if you look at it, it's like, yeah, I got my 150 safely across 5 accounts, 4 accounts, whatever, $600 or whatever. If you got it across those many accounts, you look at it, that's a win. I made $600 a day. And stop looking at, well, that $600 could have been, 1,000 if I would have just did X, Y, Z. No, get it out your head, get your win, get out the market, shut the machine down. You're out of there. Just do that enough, you get to a payout. Even if you do that for the 5 days to get to your payout, you can stop some bleeding with that payout. If you want to, stop some bleeding. If you bleed like that, if you're not, then let's take it for 2 weeks. Stop some bleeding in 2 weeks. Let's take it for the whole month, because I like what we're doing, and I want to continue to trade with this buffer. I feel relaxed. If I do have a bad day and I lose 500, I can stop my accounts and then come back tomorrow. I got a whole month to trade. I tell people whenever we was doing this, like, we don't need to look at the rules that, oh, I got to trade for 5 days. No, I get to trade for 5 days. I get to trade for 30 days. I get to trade for this. So you just keep putting money on top of money and stop trying to do something in such a short period of time. You can get your wins, and that's what it's all about. Slow it down, get your wins, and get a payout safely. Stress free. I'm not just dumping money into this. I'm not unsuccessful. I'm struggling to get my first payout. Nah, we gonna get that payout with the less amount of money being spent. That's the name of the game. But I'm out for real this time. Got a FaceTime call coming up. But Stab, we'll talk tomorrow.
Sound good.
Be in the market. I'm up about $400 on my combine.
Great
I
work.
take that as a win. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody. Yeah, it was great, having you guys pull up, and we'll be dropping like the payment links for everything. Like I said, just the overall course curriculum about tomorrow. We'll drop it tomorrow, and like I said, first day of class, pretty much the first week of November. So be prepared. Like I said, hope you like the little snippet. Get prepared. Like I said, I'll be dropping the stuff for if you want to trade with the futures desk. Like I said, the discount code is just HPS. But pretty much have the two plans. If you want to do top step, it's going to be $1,000 all in. If you want to do TFD, the futures desk, you're looking anywhere from 240 to 280. Like we're gonna urge you guys to get those smaller accounts.
Alrighty, y'all. I'm gonna head out of here.
All right, brother. Sounds good.
Catch y'all tomorrow, though.
All right, sounds great. But yeah, it's gonna be where the power is gonna be in your hands. Number one, we just have to have the discipline. You got the discipline. You treat this like a business. Any business. The overhead has to be, lower than the revenue. And for you to do that, um, you definitely got to cut down on what you're spending in the market. That's why I told the members uh, going into 2025, I said, hey, I want to keep my initial overhead of what I have spent in the market for 2025 like under 15,000 for the year. And I have done that. And the thing is, I done seen six-figure payouts off of that. So like my overall right now spend is great compared to me having to spend $80,000 to see 300. Like you don't, yeah, it's good and all, but let's say I had to spend 150 to see 300. Yeah, it's still a 2 to 1, gain on your money. But yeah, we want to have that thing at least be like a 10x. If you're 10R on what you're spending, that's great. Because then I know anything that I'm doing, I just have to do that amount spend and I'm going to get 10x that. And that's how we got to look at this trading, business. Come in, head down, we do the bare minimum, and then you can do what MJ did. Hey, don't pay the profits out your own pockets. Once you get that initial bit, get you a couple of payouts, then you can go back and reinvest. So that's what I'm telling you guys. In order to keep your overhead low, I would go with TFD, the futures desk. Spend anywhere from 240 to 280 bucks. And from that point, grow those accounts like no other. Get your payouts. You're paying yourself daily or every other day. Um, and 2, 3 months in, yeah, you can start, going for a little bit more. Hey, I know we said 150 was where we were gonna shut it down. But, I'm gonna get $25 more. And you making $25 more, you got you 5 accounts. That's $125 a day that you're making extra. Like it's not that much strain on yourself going from $150 a day to $175 a day. But just that one little, jump, you're looking at, initial increase of $2,500 that you're getting paid out. Like that's a big jump, and then compared to you trying to go from 150 and then now you're trying to see $1,000 every single day on all your accounts. Like that's a huge jump. Even if you go something like 200, like that's doable. That's only $50 more. And you got 5 accounts that you're doing that on. That's extra $250 a day. 20 something days, extra $5,000 getting put in your pocket by you just making that extra $50. Again, it's not put you in a position where you're doing some weird stuff, having an out of body, experience of, hey, that greed demon's on my shoulder. Oh, go for an extra 500. No, it's an extra $50. That's just an extra, little pop trade. Like I said, those little other, basics, they add up. But put yourself in the position where you're going to be successful. Treat this like a business. Overhead low, revenue high. That's what we want. And again, the other cheat code. If you have a spouse or loved one or somebody, is in the house with you, from that point, you're able to then multiply that by 2 for most of these props. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have tonight. Love you, beautiful people. Look forward for the people who move forward. Again, like I said, I don't expect everybody to do the boot camp, but hopefully you learn some stuff for free. If you don't, uh, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to do the text with the channel, the next steps, And pretty much, if anybody has any questions, you guys can contact me. I've been lately this week, I've been working on the website and other stuff, but um, yeah, when I get, the free time, pretty much I'll reach out.
Jeffo.
All right.
Have a good one.
Who's gonna be the next six-figure earner? I know somebody in here is gonna be it.
I hit that job so hard.
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
put in that effort. I'm putting in that hard work.
You got to. That's the only way. The discipline, you gotta stay down, stay disciplined, and like I said, before you know it, 6 months will be melted off. And like I said, oh my goodness, guys. Like I'm telling you, when I first started trading, I started with $200. And there were prop firms back in 2013. Oh my goodness. 10 figure, salary, a year. So you guys can get that $60,000 off of a $280 account or a $240 account. And then take and turn that, the first 6 months you get your 60. And then what they say, making your $100,000 is the hardest thing, your first 100. And then after that is easy. So you make that $60,000. Well, it ain't shit to turn that 60 into a quarter of a million.
Right.
So even in MJ's instance, like I told him, well, hey, if you add a full year of what you done, like you're at,
Yeah, you got over that.
a quarter of $1 million, made. Not
Yeah.
counting, what you done spent. But yeah, you done touched that. And people can't say that they done touched a quarter of $1 million in 12 months. People
No.
can't say that they touched 100. Well, most people in the United States can't say that they touched $100,000, in 12 months. And the hell, I told you guys, I pissed away personally $250,000 last year. That was in my hand. So yes, I did well for myself, but then also I left a lot of money on the table. A lot of money on the table.
Right.
And we don't want you guys to do that or even have to, live with that. Hell, just this year alone, I pissed away $50,000 back in July. $50,000 of guaranteed money. I pissed it away. Like I do
I
that.
remember you telling me that.
Yeah, I do that. I don't want you guys to do that. That's somebody's yearly salary. I don't want you guys to do that. I definitely, could have used that 50K and did something with it. But yeah,
Right. 50K, I ain't even making that in the dump truck.
yeah.
Driving trucks.
So it's one of those things. If you can just stay down, you learn the skill, this thing, it's gonna take it to the next level. Stay disciplined, keep your losses small. Don't run through your accounts. Make it where you're able to get payouts. That's what the thing is. You have to be able to get payouts. You get your payouts, you consistently do it. It's no reason. I mean, absolutely no reason you don't hit $100,000 12 months in. Like I said, you by the math, again, don't just take my word for it. Don't take MJ's word for it. Don't take Barlow's word for it. Hell, don't take, Mr. Winter's word for it. It's one of those things. If you can stay down 5 months doing the bare minimum, you're gonna make $60,000. Now it's 12 months in a year. I mean, if you made 60 the first, 5 months, you should be at least do it again. First time you did it wasn't luck because we're doing this consistently. $150 consistently.
That took off the other.
And then after you do that, it's easy for you to touch that.
Like if you wanna move, I don't know.
Hey, Baylene, you're not muted. But thank you.
Me, I didn't want to.
Hey, yeah, no problem, no problem. But from that point, it's easy for you to hit that $60,000 in the next 5 months. So you're sitting on $120,000 that you've been paid out. And hopefully you can keep, like I said, we're urging you guys to keep your overhead low. That's what we're stressing day one. So you don't have to deal with what we deal with. It's a good thing to piss away $50,000. or have the ability to do that, but you shouldn't do that. I'm pretty sure you have somebody in your family who could have used that, or some, noble cause that you could have donated to. Set yourself up for generational wealth by keeping it in-house and not, throwing that money away. We don't need to do that at all. If we can just stay grounded, keep the overhead low, keep consistently showing up, you can write it down, daily, affirmations. I will make $100,000 from trading in 12 months. I'm going to do it in 8. You can be ambitious with it. And you show up every single day. That's what the Saturday session review sessions are. We review our entries, we review our exits, we review strategy. If anybody has any questions about things that might have occurred during the week, we can talk about it on Saturday. All of that stuff. And number one, do the work outside. So if you purchase the course, then be watching the course, be re-watching the videos, as far as, if we do record something on Zoom, like I'll put the videos out where you can rewatch it. Also, we'll have it where the Candlestick Bible book. You just read the Candlestick Bible book over and over and over. You also get on TradingView, like how we were just looking at it a few seconds ago. You look at TradingView, you see the moves in the market. What did I say before? Before when we came here, the market pumped down. This was an engulfing candle right here. It came to this level of selling. Guess what? If you would have turned around with that information, you could have got you a sale. Sale right here, right above. This would have been your stop loss. And you could have targeted this low down here. And you would have already been up good bread. Hell, I was looking at this on my other screen. But yeah, you would have been up great bread off of this sale, off of the information that is provided in the teachings, in the books. What did I say before again? Like, what is this? Inverted hammer. That means like, hey, price is gonna go down. What is this? This is an evening star right here, meaning the price is gonna go down. This is a doji candle, engulfing candle, engulfing candle. It means the price is gonna go down, and exactly that's what it did. It didn't get really too much higher than this before it melted off. How do you know? I'm not a magician. I'm not a wizard. Yes, I'm 15 years in with this, but it's because I mastered the small things. You got to master the small things, and if you can do that, you can be successful with trading. It's not rocket science, but you are going to have to put your time in. It's no shortcuts. You got to do your 10,000 hours. Got to. But yeah, I don't want to keep extending the Zoom or whatnot. But the Discord meeting, I'm in the town meeting. I am recording this on Zoom for people who did miss it. But yeah, it's going to be where, again, guys, this is just going to change your life. It's going to change your life. Once you see it and you go for it from now, I don't know if anybody plays the lottery, do scratch offs or whatnot. I am not spending my money on that scratch off. Why am I not spending my money on that scratch off? Hey, TFD might have a sale again using code HPS. I can get this 25K account for $69. If I extend the days, I can get this account for $60. I take 12 days to pass. Now I got instantly access to daily payouts. I'm gonna pay myself $150 every single day off of this, initial $60, investment. And you just do it like that. So you become a lot more conscious with the money that you're just giving out, spending it on a day-to-day basis. At least that's how I was. So enjoy yourselves. Like I said, you're gonna learn a lot. And again, it's gonna change your life. Change your life. I'm gonna do some again, the people who come in. Also, guys, I do an interview with everybody. That's mandatory. You have to do a Zoom interview. It's like 15 something minutes. You tell me pretty much your background with trading, how much you're expecting to make, realistically. Therefore, I can reset your expectations. And from that point, we have a video testimonial where you can eventually, just reflect on it at a later, date. MJ came in the game. Hey, staff, like I only want to make $5,000, per month. I said, "Hey, you're gonna easily do that." And he thought I was joking. Other people, oh, I want to make $6,000 a month. You're gonna, easily do that. You know, some people came in. One girl told me, "Hey, I just want to make an extra $2,000." I said, "You're gonna make 10 times that." And what happened? All of it became true. So as long as, like I said, you don't come in, I'm making $100,000. I want to make $100,000, a month. Hold up. I'm not even consistently doing that. Again, this year I done had 3 months where I done did it. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't say every month's a 100K month. You can't time the market. Like the market is its own, beast. I can't accurately predict it every single month. Some months you're not gonna win every month. Some months you might barely be break even. So it's one of those things where, um, yeah, that if you're talking about 10K a month, I mean, the $150 a day gets you there easily. We just have to be disciplined to not click that button, lock out, and go forward from that point. But yeah, I look forward to doing an interview with you guys. And like I said, the people who do go forward, let's lock in. If you can't lock in, then hey, I understand. There's always pecan season. So the next class, will probably be offered January, for cohort members. But yeah, that's pretty much what, we'll be doing and concluding. And like I said, I'll be sending out those details, those deets, tomorrow. But all right, everybody, have a blessed one. And like I said, get excited. I know a lot of people told me they were excited. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See you out. HPS out.